Futures back downside here ever so slightly to get going on a Monday morning as we are still within shouting distance of all-time highs across the board for the overall market. Tech a little bit weak here to start things off. Tesla specifically downside to the tune of about 1.2% this morning. We'll see if we can't get a bit of a bounce going back higher. We're watching Bitcoin stabilizing after a big move down heading into the weekend as well. Palantir looking all kinds of strong here this morning. Up more than, 2.5% to start things off. There is some weakness in Chinese ADRs, specifically on the EV side of things. I mean, XPeng down better part of 4% right now, 2.5% for NIO as well. So a little bit of weakness in pockets around the market this morning, but overall, here we go again, back to the upside, as you were saying. The market just continues to grind higher here, depending on, it doesn't seem to matter anyways what the headlines are.
No, I bet you missed a great day on Friday, but I hope you had a great time. R&R, yeah, as we all saw, Friday, all-time highs for the Mag 7 names, printing new all-time highs. But today, really chip-focused. JP Morgan chiming in with TSMC upgrade. They like that. They like the AI tailwind and possibly a $1 trillion company by the end of this year. They also gave the nod to Intel and some others. Lots of chips in focus today, Brendo.
Yeah, I mean, we're back to positive here. There was a decent move for both the S&P and the NASDAQ to get us back to green, but so only just. There is Apple, 0.5%. Currently, 228 was a bit of a problem spot here. Yeah, as you were saying, unreal move on Friday going into the weekend here across the board for the Mag 7 specifically. Look at this daily chart. Like, all of these stocks now are just unbelievable. So the vacation rotation continues. It's Neil's turn today. Sean is back in the building. Good to have him back. Welcome back, Sean, and Obi with us today.
Obi.
On, guys. How's it going?
You see, so the thing is that I come back and we finally instituted a uniform policy.
Winning.
You know, so, you know, we'll see. We're finally twinning, but hey, it's good to have you here.
Good to have you
It's good to be back. It was a fun time. And yeah, we'll need to coordinate a little bit moving forward. Oh, we got the bulls going on there. I like the bulls going on.
I mean, have you seen this market?
Yes, I have.
Damn.
You know,
I even had the hat on Friday. I don't know if you saw. Like, we were riding some bulls.
Which hat?
The Wayne's Coors hat in the back. I don't know if you've seen it.
Don't put on my Palantir hat. You guys see some Palantir lately? I mean, I heard what Brendan was mentioning there. Palantir on the sticky note today, taking out everything. I mean, you're going to take out this $28. Palantir's up 30% in a month, so we're really excited to see about that. But yeah, glad to be back. Some R&R, we're ready to rock and roll. I'm glad we finally got this uniform thing done with, you know, now we can finally just wear the same thing absolutely every single day.
Yeah, I mean.
Well, yeah, here at Trader TV Live, we're making changes.
Don't the best, I heard that.
It's like Kevin O'Leary.
Zucky wears the same thing every day.
Who does?
Mark Zuckerberg.
He does?
Right? I mean, that was like a
Kevin O'Leary does.
Right?
Remember, every time we see Kevin O'Leary, he's in.
You don't need to spend that mental capital every day.
Yeah,
it's
is that
just
the
like
Fitbit?
whatever.
You're always wearing a Fitbit? How come I didn't notice?
Yeah, no, it is. I've been wearing it. I think this is
only
third
for
4
5 years
months.
or so?
No.
4 months.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
I got a little bit more adamant about tracking my sleep scores and like REM and.
How's that been working?
It's good. It's not too bad. I'm finding like correlations and stuff versus performance. That's what I really like to see. And
Are you really
like,
though?
Yeah, really.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
like,
how was your sleep last night?
Last night I had about 6 hours and 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Roughly, which is not too bad. I slept for a total of like 7 hours. Met all the benches, deep, just barely, deep sleep, but yeah, it's good. Should be. I mean, I'm prepared.
So you're at a high performance level today, or?
Yeah, I mean, I'm better than I'm well rested. Let's say that. I could use maybe another hour of sleep for like the optimal. You know,
right.
But sleep scores today is 84, whatever that means. But,
yeah.
You know.
Well, sleep's 84. That's pretty high, actually.
I mean, I'd like to get the 90s. You know, I got to get the A+. So. You know. A+ sleep for the A+ setups.
We were hanging around at a baseball tournament, and all the parents, you know, the kids were in the pool, blah, 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 and we were all hanging out there and you know, having a few pops or whatever. And I'm just sitting around there, and it just comes out, my wife, we were just talking, and I said, I wonder what percentage of the time my wife actually likes me, you know? And so I asked that, and she said 25%. I was like, wow, that's high. I was not expecting.
Quarter of the time,
yeah, and everyone looked around. They're like, "Holy crap! Like 20, that was high." I don't know. So when we're talking about percentages there, I think 84 is pretty high. But yeah, Marissa was at the 25% or so spot there. So and I took it. You know, 70% of the time was about neutral, and 5%
Okay.
was alike.
That's
Yeah.
not bad at all. I mean,
Yeah.
What are your plans to kind of pump those numbers even higher?
No plans at all.
No? Okay.
I mean,
All right.
more shares. I mean, the thing is that, you know, we're, no, the one thing about sort of taking some time off is, you know, you realize what you miss when you're here, but then you also realize what you miss when you're not on vacation too, right? Because you get to be able to spend time with everybody. So it's, it was really, really nice time. And yeah, we're obviously back refreshed, and we should have a great show as per usual. And then tomorrow, Neil will be back, and you will be back to your regular seat until probably a couple more days after that. You'll probably be back at some point, and
We'll see.
all right, back over to the desk.
We might talk about that actually. Let's talk about Tesla first here, though. I wanted to mention this daily chart because I mean we just looked at Apple and it's getting a little bit outrageous here. Right down to almost the highest level since.
All right, guys, Tesla, big look here because the short float, the highest it's been since 2021, 3.84%, obviously after that big run-up that we had last week on TSLA. But it's not all good. Well, that's not really good news. Not good news at all. The headline today, the $7 billion request for the attorney's fees as a result of that litigation in Delaware for Elon Musk's $54 billion pay package. The lawyers there want about $7.2 billion. Obviously, Tesla shareholders trying to fight that and basically get that sum reduced somewhat to about 13.6 million. It's kind of actually funny because the lawyers there, if you do the math based on how many hours were worked, they want to bill about $370,000 an hour. Some of these people are billing $275 regularly, so it's kind of makes you chuckle a little bit here. 47 attorneys involved in the case. It's set to be heard today, and we'll see what this court decides. But yeah, Tesla looking to cut that down from 7.2 billion, Brendo, to a nice 13 billion.
I feel like we've heard this story in the past. It never ended well back then. But as I was mentioning, if there's a little bit of audio issues, we apologize, guys. We're doing some work today. December of 2023. We got to 265. Can we go to my screen, guys? Thank you. This high is what I was mentioning there. 260, 265, the high. It's been, I mean, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of 8 days in a row here, guys, for Tesla.
Yeah, we were just talking about this with Obi right here, and we can show Obi's screen that trend line.
I've been talking about this last week as well. I was like, okay, well, yeah, where does some of that strength from Tesla come from? Where does some of that buying pressure come from? We're breaking a multi-time frame resistance that it's been holding quite well since 2021 all-time highs. November 2021, yeah, we hit 414. And look at that. Every time we came up into the trend, we've sold off, kind of coming back in. But this time we kind of finally actually broke out, and look at that expanding volume going into Tesla. So yeah, definitely breaking out of a multi-year trend resistance here, and we see what I guess I got to experience what happens when something like that happens, right? And again, confluenced with a very strong deliveries number as well. So Tesla
confluence is happening early. I like it. I like it a lot. I have Tesla written down here on the sticky note at 250 to break long. So hopefully we'll be able to hit that going through. Yeah, wow. I tweeted, yeah, we know Fabian.
Fabian's just
Fabian's
noticing.
like, you guys are matching. So we already discussed this. This is the new Trader TV Live outfit. It's like
Twinsies going forward.
I always explain this one last time. It's like, you go into Home Depot and everybody has on the orange, It's
like,
Walmart has the blue.
You work here?
Huh?
You work here?
Yeah, you work here too?
Okay, yeah, I guess.
Yeah, see, we both work here. See, now we know who works here.
Exactly.
It's like you're walking around. We're trying. Let's see what Randy has on. I bet you Randy has, because Randy's a man of the people, he probably has on the exact same shirt as me and Obi, because also Randy works here. Hi, Randy.
Yo.
Where's your shirt, man?
What's going on?
Where's your shirt, man? Did you see me and Obi's shirt? What happened? Coffee machine broken, or what happened?
Not too much.
We're just talking about your and I favorite stock. It's T to the S to the L to the A. I mean, you're up 40% in 2 weeks. What are we even doing here? I mean, Isn't that quite an unbelievable run? I think part of this has to be some kind of a short squeeze, right? I mean, not even just a short squeeze, but just so many people, and I tweeted this out last week, how wrong were so many people on this? A lot of people, a lot of analysts, a lot of brokerage downgraded this name, thought we were done. We are down to $140 back in April 23rd. It's July 8th right now. You've added a $100 onto that right there. Huge move up for Tesla. The way I look at this, though, everybody, coffee would be great.
I'm good. I just
It's just how far you are standard deviations away from the 200 period, right? And so you got way extended down here, and now I feel like you're probably extended to the upside. But I still really like the long. I'm trying to break this thing through 250. Interesting to see that top 255. I think we can get there 253 today for sure. So I'm going long on all the momentum here with Tesla. I just think it's one of those names. It's a cult name. People love Elon. They love to back this guy. And it has, well, look, they're the only North American EV maker that's actually making money on cars, correct? Plus they have the infrastructure play with the charging, the charging network. Plus they have everything else that Elon's possibly working on. And now you have apparently a happy Elon, like getting paid those billions.
Yeah.
Moving hopefully from Delaware into Texas.
Yeah, that'll be good.
This guy's living life. So yeah, I really like Tesla here, guys. So yeah, we'll get him on the show. He's on a couple podcasts. A couple weeks from now, we got him.
Okay, sick. Let's go.
We don't, but that would be really sick.
Got to make a couple phone calls.
All right, back over to the desk.
All right, you were just mentioning this Microsoft angle for workers over in China. So Microsoft specifically ordering staff in China to use iPhones specifically for work and drop Android altogether, all for security purposes. This is from Bloomberg this morning. Here we are, back to, all-time highs, 227.55, 56 coming into play. But again, this is just Microsoft staff specifically being ordered to not use Android and go to iPhones.
Yeah, I mean, I'm taking the implications of this. The inference here is the Android security software isn't up to snuff, at least by Microsoft's estimation. So here's a look. The measure is aimed at making sure that all staff use the Microsoft Authenticator Password Manager and the Identity Pass app, which is actually available on Android, Brendo. They're just not trusting the security there.
Yeah, going to benefit regardless. Apple today up to and change percent here, guys, right back to all-time highs.
Well, I find that actually funny.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's usually, I guess it's usually kind of, I don't know, the other way around. But I guess Apple with their tight security, their closed ecosystem, definitely less prone to security issues, it would seem. But Apple back to all-time highs. So definitely going to be watching that. Markets are super strong as well. As you can see, we're trading above 20,600 now on the NQ, and then pushing to 5650 almost on the ES. But Apple kind of with a little bit of a bid. I don't know if Softy really moved around with that thing. Yeah, okay, so pretty much where we closed off of on both names here. But gonna continue watching if Apple continues to be as strong as it was all of last week. You can see Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, a little bit of consolidation, and that bid picks right back up on Friday when we get back from the 4th of July holiday there. So let's see if some of that bid continues. I got the weekly on watch as well. So a little bit of a breakout of this was it a multi-year, multi-month, you could say, almost a year, right? Is that about 12 bars? That is way more than 12 bars there. But sorry, this is a weekly chart. Yeah, so about 300 week, 300 bar consolidation breakout happening here off the 200 mark on Apple, and we're continuing to go about 30 points off of that 200 mark. So can't stop, won't stop these markets, John.
No, I'm about to get the sticky note out, but I have Apple as the #1 trade just to break this 228. Like okay. I think it's so strong. It's 1, 2, 3. I mean, we've just talked about it. You have one red day in 10. And you've already broke through that 220, and it's looking super strong, and it's up 0.5%, and the market is flat. So, yeah. I also did write down, look, I don't know if we want to blast that off the open or not. Like, we'll wait. Apple does give you opportunities to get in. So what I did write down is this is here. This is the 50-period moving average, right, on a 20-minute chart. So we've really respected this 200 period or this 50-period moving average. 200's down here on the green, and I wrote down 224, and it's just that's where we opened on Friday. Now I don't think we're going to get down to that level, but for now, that's where the 50-period moving average is. Probably by the time we start to trade a little bit, it'll go up here to 225, 225.50, and then that would be a good dip buy opportunity. So, it still needs to happen. If the market does fall down, this is one of. I mean, you can. As Obi just said, we can line up basically, Mag 7, whatever they are right now, and try to just pick your poison with any of these names long. I mean, Microsoft's not going to be held back from a story like that. Neither is Apple. And Tesla, I think, is at a key level of 250. It could break, take out that 253. You mentioned the seller possibly on Amazon. If that ever got lifted, then you're through 200 in a flash on that name. There's just Google today is up. Like there's news. There's so much news. And then by the way, right now as well, you have Bitcoin trying to bounce as well. We'll mark that down here at 57.1 right now, 58. We got to 58.4 after dropping into 54.3. Ethereum also bouncing. It's, the funny thing is that right before I went to bed last night, true story, Obi, I opened up my account and I still had some Tether sitting in there. So that's cash. So I was like, maybe I'll buy this dip. And Ethereum was where I went to. I did not go to Bitcoin. But I did not pull the trigger, and it was at 28. It was at 28.8 or 28.7, honestly. And it was around midnight or so last night, and Eastern time, of course. And I didn't do it. And I said to myself, let me go. I'd been on vacation. Let's figure it out. I knew there was some really key levels that had broken through. We looked at 58 before, and that's where it is now. So that was a key level. Then 54 for Bitcoin was sort of the bouncing spot. But I hadn't really dug in enough to Ethereum to figure out, is 25 psychological level? I thought maybe we could float into that, but it looks like it wanted to bounce off 28 there. So I could have scraped the bottom by about $1,000 or so. Down there, 20, 28, 29, but now we're back over to 31. So are you a buyer of this dip, or?
I think I'm going to wait for the dip to keep dipping to really start taking a look at it. But I think the dip that happened, I guess, over the past few days definitely was a little enticing. But again, taking a look at Bitcoin over here, I'll just pull up my Bitcoin chart. Let's go to a higher time frame right here. I like to go to multiple hours because again, this is an asset that trades 24/7. So an hourly, I think, is way too little to kind of capture some of the meat of some of the price action that may be happening here. But yeah, take a look at this. These are all-time highs, right? 73,835 right here that we tested in March of 24, so earlier on this year. And look, just over the past couple of weeks, we broke down this level right here, 56, is kind of consolidation low. So yeah, I think that if we kind of start to pull in, which we have been, we rejected the 70, we've attempted it multiple times, and we're starting to pull back in. If you look back at a higher time frame, once again, on say like a weekly, you can see how strong these pullbacks can become if and when Bitcoin does decide to take a little bit of a breather, and it's starting to look like we're taking a little bit of a breather off this double top here in the 70 zone. So yeah, I'm going to be waiting for some of the dips. I say that if we kind of continue this trend further down, just looking back at it, maybe some trouble at 52s, next in and around here, you can see a little bit of confluence with this consolidation and prior levels here in 45s. If we can really get down here, it seems like 30 might be a decent place to really kind of take a look at it as well. But yeah, no, I'll continue to watch. If we scream right back up, that's perfectly fine as well. But in terms of a pullback, I'm going to wait for the dip to keep dipping a little bit. That's my opinion on that.
I have just added Coinbase.
Okay.
I'm interested to hear, actually, maybe we'll see if Michael talks about crypto.
Yeah.
But I want to talk about Coinbase when we get back as well. So you like sandwiches?
I love sandwiches.
I love sandwiches as well. All right, back over to the desk.
Hey, there's Michael Noss. It's not only tech, Mr. Noss. Happy Monday.
Yes. Happy Monday.
Gold as well. Some of the metals, actually, gold specifically, but I was just noticing silver, as you like to call it, gold's crazy cousin, also doing things once again, not only into the weekend, but here again this morning. Tell us why gold is making a run here to recent highs.
Yeah, they're over there talking about Bitcoin, which a lot of people refer to as the digital gold, and I'm going to talk to you guys about the boomer gold. But maybe in the after hours show, me and Sean will, or yeah, Sean will talk about gold and all that kind of good stuff. But this all starts, as always, with one of my favorite scans, but actually an algorithm that I run at Trade Ideas. We call this TI Strength because it essentially looks for the strongest stocks in the market. It updates every 30 seconds, but I focus on it once a day, in which I want to see which stocks closed. It ranks the stocks by just a series of indicators, moving averages, and MACD, and all of the ones you know and love, and just spits out here's the strongest name. So the first slide I have is what what it looked like on, I think, Saturday when I made this presentation, and all of those purple arrows are some sort of gold or silver related type of name. I almost included EWA there, which is the Australian ETF, because they export a lot of gold and silver. But you can see that when this algorithm that we have at Trade Ideas is looking at the strongest stocks in the market, it's gold miner, silver miner, gold miner, right? Over and over and over again, gold and silver ETF. And you guys know that I've been knocking on the door and pounding the table and all of those adages, how much I love gold. So let's go to the monthly chart first here and just talk about why. So this is something I remember talking about years ago. This is before even, we created a child, and that child is 3 months old. That's how long it's been since we've been talking about this cup and handle on gold. And it took a long time to watch and a long time to produce. And then we had this nice little breakout. But I'm not someone who I'm just going to buy and hold something on the monthly chart for a long period of time. So what we've been doing is using this overall idea of this cup and handle breakout as a bias to say, okay, I want to be long gold. I want to look for opportunities on the shorter term time frame to be long gold, and then we're zooming into shorter term time frames to execute those tactical trades. Now, silver right here, this was a little bit late. We don't have a full giant cup and handle, but we do have this smiley face breakout. I've been told to buy smiley faces and sell frowny faces. And we had this breakout on the monthly chart a couple months ago in silver, and a nice inside month. So when I'm looking at these longer term time frames, I just want to have them in mind to say, okay, if I start to see situations like this where algorithms and where systems are telling me, hey, it's time to look at gold and silver, I have it just in my mind that I like these really long-term charts, which should make these short-term trends a little bit easier to play. So I pulled out 3 of my favorite. Oh, sorry. Next, we'll go into just the daily chart just to show here on gold what I'm looking at. A very simple ascending triangle or descending triangle, which we've just broken a downtrend out of. You can see I love, generally speaking, you're reading these books, they talk about trading these opposite, that you would buy a breakdown of these triangles. I like it when it's the other way around because it just shows that we have a clear support area on that lower purple line, and then we've broken trend. So if we're going to continue higher, I know exactly where I'm wrong. If we break that lower trend line, I'm wrong on gold, I'm wrong on silver, it's time to go. Now, you can express these with the ETFs, or you can find double or triple ETFs, or what I like to do is I like to look for gold miners that I think are incredibly strong, because these are the guys who are going to do well if we have elevated gold and silver prices. So the first one here is the CDE. This one broke a very clean level at $6 on Friday. You can see how long it's just been congested there. When we saw gold, it had pulled back, it had created this lower support area, and it had been messing around there for a long time. But CDE just put out this nice flat base, broke out of $6 on Friday. I'm just going to look for some continuation if we can get over that Friday's high. I like the look of that. I love this one because I know exactly where we're wrong. That's under that low, which is, around 550 or so. So very cheap stock and a very low risk there on that cheap stock as well. Next one is AEM. Now this is the big guy, right? We're talking a $35 billion market cap Canadian company that mines gold and silver. If you want somewhere that it's a good company and it's a profitable company and a safe company, I think this would be a good one to play. A little bit extended here, and we do have that prior high sitting right above, which is about $70 or so. So for me, I would want to see it clear that $70 a share. just to see if we can get above that area. But just like the other one, I know where I'm wrong, and it's just the low of these bases. And that's why I love trading with trends, because I know exactly where I'm wrong. If this trend reverses and moves lower, then it's time to go, and I'll talk about gold probably in another month or so once it shows up in the scanners again.
The trend still well intact on all of these charts, depending on what time frame you're looking at, daily and up. How important is it, if you, I mean, from the perspective of how much more, I guess, do you like it if there's such a strong trend on a higher time frame like that?
Yeah, and I think this is kind of the key to trend trading in general. And you'll see it when it comes to day traders. They'll look at a daily chart and they'll say the daily chart's in a long trend. Let me try to grab 5-minute breakouts or 5-minute continuation plays in the direction of that trend. I'm just doing the same here, whereas for me, it's usually a weekly or a monthly chart. I want to see a strong trend, and I'm using the daily chart to buy directions in that underlying trend. So for me, that trend is absolutely paramount. I'm not going to be buying things as they're dipping or trying to fight trends. I'm looking for long-term trends, which Dow theory calls your primary trend, and I'm looking for pullbacks and I'm looking for breakouts in the secondary trend. And yeah, it's just depending on your time frame. If you're a day trader, I would do the same thing. I would look for stocks in a strong daily trend and then look for continuations in that 5-minute trend.
We'll speak again after the close tonight with Sean. You and I won't, but you and he will. Have a great day.
Absolutely. Well, I look forward to it. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Thank you. I'm working tonight?
Are you?
Yeah, I'm working.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah. We love having Michael Noss on. Thanks, Michael. Yeah, I'll talk to him about Bitcoin on the after show. We'll talk about gold again. But, the key thing to me there was, again, from Trade Ideas, just to get those scanners going.
Oh, yeah.
Like he was talking about, based on different sets of attributes, what are the hot names popping off? I actually just messaged him and asked him if you could customize the different names that go into that scanner. Because maybe you could put a list, for example, if you're looking at we're going to talk about this from a trading standpoint, but if you're looking at this for gold, okay, I like what Michael's saying. I like the breakout possibility. I like the momentum there. So let me put in this scanner 10 gold names. 10 gold, 10 silver, maybe get some copper in there, some FCX, and then you can say, all right, so today I'm looking at metals. Which 5 names are the strongest? Where am I looking for those trade opportunities? So yeah, I think, and again, just saw Patrick here, and there's so many different styles of trading that's out there, right? And I think that's to me the main thing that we all have to figure out is where are we going to make our money, what names, what style. And Michael just said he likes to trade names that are breaking out, the smiley faces, the frowny faces. Frowny faces? Yeah, that's right? Yeah, that's it. And so he wants to find those patterns, So I just feel like if you're seeing one in gold right now, I've never really invested in gold. In and out of some names for dividends and things like that. But other than that, I think it might be time to look at something. COMX is a good to get into some copper, and then GLD if you're going to look at gold as well. But again, not my.
The scans, like every trader has a different kind of style of trading, different playbook per se. But yeah, the one good way that you can kind of use technology to your benefit is to run those custom scans. And again, Trade Ideas providing a great platform to do such a task where it's like, all right, well, if you have specific kind of criteria or parameters that you like to see for your specific setups, then you can make a custom scanner for that and kind of run through your scans. I run through scans pretty much every night before every trading day to try and find certain things that are setting up in ways that I like so that I can put them on my watch list in my in-play list for the day. So definitely important with, again, as Sean said, many different styles of trading, and scans will definitely put you a little ahead of the crowd there.
Yeah. I'm running the sticky note.
All right.
Back to the desk. All right, hey, that was quick. So that was a great update. Thanks for all that. No, I think we're going to Adara. You let me know, Fabian, when we're ready. We can kill a lot of time here, as we will be doing this all day long.
All day.
I think we are going to get ready for Adara. We're good. Okay. Adara now at the screen.
NVIDIA kicking off the list here, getting this UBS upgrade with $150 price target. Then we have Domino's. They're set to report in the next few weeks. They're getting this upgrade from Robert W. Baird. Google getting some positive analyst notes from both Wells Fargo and Wedbush we have up here, $187 price target. Then we have Meta getting an upgrade from JP Morgan Chase. They also got positive notes from Wells Fargo and Wedbush as well. So META may be poised for some more strength. The downgrade side, we're kicking it off with Bumble getting a downgrade from Wells Fargo, down about 3% right now in the pre-market. We also have CN getting a downgrade from Bernstein GSK with this downgrade from UBS. And JP Morgan Chase, ahead of its earnings on Friday, which starts off earnings season with these bank reports, it's actually getting a downgrade from Wolfe Research. So JP Morgan could be one to watch, guys.
All right, thank you. Yeah, some interesting names on both the upgrade and the downgrade. Some strong ones as well. And yeah, I see that you pulled up Bumble. I was like, yeah, Bumble all-time lows. And I was like, damn, it's looking kind of bleak here. Let's look at the weekly on the Bumble. With the downgrade, even pushing fresh. These are all-time lows again, to mention. And then off the IPO there, in and around a high of 84. We're trading below sub 10 now on this ticker here. So, what are your thoughts on this?
I just remember. It's just these stocks. Like, what is it? Her name's Whitney Wolf or something.
Okay,
and it's
the
like,
CEO or the person?
Yeah, no, I just remember all the hoopla about this name. Like, they came and they IPO'd. Yeah. They were there on the NASDAQ, and it was this big to-do and everything like that. And like, it was supposed to be this big thing. I mean, it's just, this is what the chart looks like. I mean, this is where IPOs and all these things sometimes can go. And it's funny because I wanted to talk about this, and then you can talk about a stock like ARM, that doesn't stop. But there it goes all the way to the downside right now. Bumble, breaking lower, and then now today that price, the target was 10. I mean, we're already below that. You've now broken well below. I think Bumble is a short, obviously. But look at that, man, 29,000 shares, a lot of them done in the dark right here on this print at 8 o'clock. So I won't be a stock for me. The one stock that I think, sticky notes out, but the one thing that I didn't write NVIDIA on it, but the thing is like, all these names are breaking out. And although our chart does not reflect it because we don't, unfortunately, we don't update the chart there for the split, but you're still way away. Like, you're down 10%, right? Our high was 140. You've taken out $14, right? 126. So if the name that started all of this, NVIDIA is down 10%, you get Microsoft ripping to highs, you get Meta, you get all these names that are really just paying NVIDIA, whatever NVIDIA asks. These companies are paying it. These companies are ripping higher. So they're getting more money, right? Like Microsoft and Apple, as these shares go higher. Apple already has the $100 billion buyback underneath it, the largest in history. They're buying back shares, and where's, like, Apple's buying back shares underneath $200. So how much have they made just by buying their own shares back? Anyways, the customers of NVIDIA are getting richer and richer every single day. And this name is still down 10%. So I think NVIDIA does have a huge opportunity, again, to just blast one of these days. And it's probably going to be today. Like, it's up 1%. It's like laughing at the market. Me and Brendan looked over today. We saw a chart. You know what the NASDAQ is up so far this year?
What is it?
Yes. That's not dramatic. If you just say, what is it? And I just tell you.
Well, like 50%?
50?
Yeah.
Okay. That would be, we might get there. 34%.
Okay.
In 7 months.
Yeah.
It's an unbelievable run. And it's like, we talk about putting money into GICs or bonds and T-bills and all that kind of stuff at 4 or 5%. NASDAQ today just goes 35% and still going higher. It's absolutely unbelievable. Yeah. All right, some news hitting right now on Lucid, I'm hearing right now, so we'll wait to see. Oh, Lucid purchased, vehicles. Okay, so delivery numbers. So I'll wait to see if we get those confirmed, but it looks like it's delivery numbers right now on Lucid up 10.
Okay. Let's get into everything else we need to know here on a Monday morning. Sharif's going to lead us off with a look at the market.
56.22, guys. That's where we closed out on Friday. all-time highs. We just printed all-time highs right now on the ES September contract, 56.27. So clearly no resistance level off which to chart. What we can do is look at that support. So where do we bottom out on Friday? That 56.10 area. Let's see if we can defend that if we make our way down.
Yeah, that's so yeah, go to the website, tradertv.live, wait for that pop-up to appear, and then enter your email address, and it'll get sent right to your inbox. Every single day has everything you need to know on it. In the pre-market here, just listening to a couple of things coming through right now, nothing major. A few small caps just popping up on volume scanners as well. 3.2% meanwhile for Intel to the upside, playing a little bit of catch up. I'll show you the higher time frame here in a second, but trying to hold $33 right now. Intel with a big stake in Mobileye still, a bit of a tie-up with Volkswagen for MBLY. Other than that, not a heck of a lot in the way of news this morning for Intel, but massively strong here.
Yeah, Brendo, it's up 3.5 or almost 3.5 right now. It was well up on Friday, as well as a decent week. It gained 3.8% last week and another 3 and change today. There is also this headline here, not sure what to exactly make of this. China Vice Commerce Minister met with the global vice president and chief government affairs officer of Intel Corp in Beijing. So we'll have to see what kind of deal that they're working up there. But Intel spending the majority of its monies, at least on foundries, in the Western Hemisphere, Brendo, not so much in China.
Yeah, and this is what I was mentioning. If you have a look at the daily chart, we're clearing that level this morning, so that goes all the way back to May. Came back in and held there 32.50, so maybe just a bit of a breakout underway here, guys, for Intel.
Have you ever had a Joe Louis?
A what?
Joe Louis?
No, what is that?
It's like a little chocolate.
Yeah.
It's like a cake chocolate with like a cream center. You've never had a Joe Louis before? Have you had a flaky?
I've had multiple different pastries. I might not be familiar with what name they've been, they have, but.
The reason why I asked that is it's a really bad segue because we have here
I gotta look up
Joe Louis here asking us about what's. That was all right? I mean, I'm back.
Yeah, that's good.
I'm back.
I like that.
What are the thoughts?
Yeah.
Who hit that? Ramin?
Oh,
Fabian
100%
did.
I've had these. Yeah.
You please bring them on the screen. I mean, I want
Okay.
people got to see these Joe Louis.
Yeah, it's right
There we
here.
go. There's you've had those, right?
Yeah.
Joe Louis. See?
Those for sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Cake, yeah, I've had, you know what? I've had so much cake in my life, Sean, it's just,
Doesn't look like it.
I mean.
Okay.
I see the cake in front of me, I just eat it, I don't really ask questions as to like, oh, what is this called? I don't care if it's like a.
You should ask questions about some of the stuff.
Yeah,
Philippe,
maybe,
but that's okay. No, I mean, Joe Louis is really good. But anyways, okay. What are the thoughts here on HLVX? Well, my thoughts are they've announced that they missed. They did not meet its primary or secondary efficacy points for their HIL 214, some drug. I know nothing about it. That's why I read that real quickly, just to show everybody that thank you so much for the $2 super chat. And then just looking at this stock, I mean, this is what happens, right? When you miss on clinical studies, and unfortunately, I just read now it's something development of infant care, so that's sad. I hate to see that, but this is just a miss right there. So down 86%. It's hard to look at levels for names like this, but HLVX. I'll load up the trade ideas, and for right now, I have on our Benzinga platform right here. I just wanted to see if we did have a short float. I didn't see it unless I'd missed it. So I'm going to load up the trade ideas platform and get that for you here when we find out the short float. So anyways, HLVX, thank you so much, Mr. Joe Louis there for the super chat on HLVX. But why don't you already have Intel up, and
Okay,
then
I'll
talk about it in a minute.
Yeah, no, I see what Brendo is talking about here. These highs from May in and around 32 halves. And yeah, definitely poised for a little bit of breakout. This was one of the top names on my list this morning. I was like, why is Intel moving like this in the pre-market? I couldn't necessarily find any sort of significant news. But as Sharif pointed out, there's I guess, an individual in China that has met up with some people in Intel as well, and that might be causing a little bit of this bid here. So why I was kind of pointed in this direction, again, shout out to scans in the morning and overnight, but in the morning, take a look at this relative volume that Intel is doing off of a technical, like, even if I didn't know there was news, I was like, all right, there's no news, but this is still a technical breakout through prior day highs and through multi-month highs as well from May at 32.40s, just underneath, just shy of that 32.5 level. And yeah, doing multiples of relative volume in the pre-market. As of right now, holding 33. So I'm gonna continue to watch to see if some of this pre-market low consolidation. This is a 15-minute chart, so a little bit of a double bottom happening right here, just shy of 33. On top of that, 32.5. So I'm going to continue watching some of those levels. 33.64 is the pre-market high where we caught a bid from the 4 a.m. candle all the way up without any significant relief, stopping right there at 33.64. And you know what? I just want to go to a little bit of a higher time frame. We'll go to like a multi-hour chart. So I was talking to Sean about this morning. Look at this. Earnings reaction high right there at 35 and some change, 35 quarters. Slams right into, what is this, 32s, and then pops up into 32.70. So breaking up past this, we have a little bit of air all the way up to 34 is this consolidation low here off the earnings quadrunk, and we consolidated. We pretty much failed to follow through below 30, so that bid on 30 seems a little bit significant here as we flush down off of earnings, but it cannot, will not get past that 30 mark, and then it only has one way to go. We've gone down and sideways, and then now it's got to find some room back up to the upside there, and that's what it's doing with some volume this morning. Let's see if we can get to 34 if that bid sustains.
All right. I'm just, look what your boy has in a second here. Oh, no. Now it's gone. Here it is. Coming up right here. Oh, come on. Pull down. I have the trade ideas. Where did it go? Here it is right here. I have that trade ideas scan. So here we go. This is exactly what Michael Noss was talking about. Here's the scores, the ratings, the stocks that we're going to be looking at here. Ooh, Nordstrom, some JWN. So I'll be looking at that one. I just want to give a big shout out to Michael for this. And you want to talk about service? Like I told you that I just put a request in for this. No, oops. No, I just got to make it a little smaller. Anyways, okay, we'll get rid of that. And then boom, right away in the inbox. Thank you, Mr. Michael Noss. And what I wanted to show everybody as well today was that I do have Intel on here. This name has sort of been, and I think it was you and I. Wow, by the way, Bitcoin's trying to go again, 57.4. So that's really nice for the crypto space. I have Intel on here. I think 32.50. We've already seen that low. We just mentioned it there. We'll talk about that in a minute. I think that gap fill to 34 is really interesting. You want to play momentum for names today. As the market's kind of not doing too much here at highs. We'll see if it goes. I still love Palantir. I hope we'll be able to get to that. It's already 9:11, so let's hurry up here. All right, so here's 33 and change. Again, there's that 34 gap fill that we're talking about. You dipped off there off earnings, or was that the funding note? But anyways, downside into 30 bucks. Really held that. I really like that base. You know what this reminds me of? And it's not going to move the same, but it kind of reminds me of Tesla, to be honest with you, where you had a dramatic fall down and then a pretty good base around 170 for Tesla. Now you can see where that's trading at. Not that Intel and Tesla are like that, but that's a really nice base. You're going to see the same base on many different names that we're going to talk about today. And this looks like one of the best ones on Intel. So I'd say get long. And that's what I want to do. So back into 32.50. That's where the 200 period is. That's sort of where some of this pressure got bought back up here on some of these dark prints in and around 8 o'clock. I like 32.50, and I also do like break longs, but I'd rather wait for 34 to hold for a day. So for right now, it's a dip buy only on Intel, but I like the name.
Interesting look today, $7 billion being requested here by the plaintiffs for legal fees. And that's for 47 lawyers who are apparently working on this case. If you do the math, it comes to a comical number of about $370,000 an hour per billable hour. That's while most of the people that were on this 47 attorneys list billed about $275. So we'll have to wait and see. Tesla wants to reduce that quantum from 7.2 billion to 13.6 million. We'll have to see how the judge reacts there. Separately, though, Tesla's short float increased after last week's pop to the highest level it's been since 2021, 3.84%.
What are you on, Tesla?
I'm updating my little scanner here.
No worries. I can talk about Tesla.
Yeah, you want? I mean, yeah, I can go with Tesla just real quick. So I have
did some crazy moves last week while you were on vacation.
Yeah, I've noticed that. Tesla seems insane.
Talking about it going into ludicrous mode, and it was definitely. It
was ludicrous.
Oh yeah. The ludicrous mode on the.
Yeah, on the Tesla. Yeah, it goes crazy. Yeah, I was thinking about the wrapper. Look, I know Chef Joe. I know a lot of traders out there love some Tesla. And I know, I'm a little surprised it's down 1.4% today. I didn't think it would get to that level. Just, not that I didn't think it would get to this level, I'm just looking at levels now, but I didn't think we would be down 1.4% with the market up. So I think it's a buying opportunity. I wrote down here, again, this is another name that's on my note today, either a 248 dip buy opportunity, which is where we're at right now. This is, again, the 20-minute chart. If we really get to the downside, I didn't think we would get to 244, but Tesla could dump off the open. Again, just a huge move up. Like, this is just back at the beginning of July, you're at $200 lower, right? Obi, you and I actually picked Tesla to beat Apple, which right now we'd be right, but we got smoked on the bet because
on the 200,
Apple took down 200 real quick.
Yeah.
But, Tesla continues to be pretty good right there. So, yeah, don't you owe Sharif some money there? Or what happened?
I think I might have owed him like an apple.
An apple. Well, we'll get that.
Something
You know what? They have apples in the other room. I'll just go get one for you. Just give it over to.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like
like an apple.
Fruit. Yeah. Oh, fruit. Like a physical fruit.
Physical fruit.
You know how much an apple.
Come on, he's a healthy guy. You gotta,
He is. Yeah. Who's Sharif? Yeah, he's somewhat healthy.
He's a little healthy.
Yeah. The thing is that
He might work out.
apples these days are like about $1.50 just for one apple. It's expensive.
Yeah.
So I went to thank God we have a great garden. The garden's starting to pop off now.
apple tree, okay.
Oh my God. I don't want to get this show in the wrong direction here.
Yeah.
We have a zucchini out there like this big.
Wow.
And we're like, you got to pull because we just got back and it was like, went right to the garden.
Yeah.
And it's zucchini season right now.
Okay.
How come I...
Oh, all right.
You know Ramin's on the board over there when stuff like that starts happening. But the idea there is that it's like, so I went over to my neighbor, he was outside there. I was like, hey, what's going on? The guy's Italian too, so I was like, what's going on? And then I said, hey, it's zucchini. He knew exactly what was going on. Zucchini season, baby.
Yeah.
So to my surprise, he wasn't a huge fan of zucchini.
He wasn't.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, come on. You like zucchini?
Yeah, I mean, it's a
You know the best way to do it?
part of the meal.
Cut it up, chop it up, just a little bit of like olive oil, some salt and pepper on that thing, grill it.
Yeah.
Throw it
grilled
right
zucchini
on the
for
barbecue.
Sure. 100%. Yeah.
Right beside that pork chop or something.
Boom.
Ay. Or what my nonna, I call her Nana, but she used to actually bread them. Yeah, put them like deep fry them. Oh
Yeah.
the flowers. That's the problem. I have Patrick over here. Those guys reminding me of all these things. We had these great flowers in Rome, actually, Patrick, when we were there last year. That was, oh my God. All right.
We do some deep fried zucchini.
Has the food arrived here yet, or what? What's going on? All right. So anyways, I really like Tesla. The other thing that's hitting Tesla right now, I think, is also the 250 mark.
Yes.
So I just think the key psychological level of 250, if it wants to get going, I think it blasts that. And then I just wrote down, I don't see any reason why we don't get up here again. 253, 252-ish area. So I really like Tesla here today. I think it's another name that you got to watch out for. Why is it down? That's my only question. We'll wait to see what's up with Tesla down here at these levels.
Yeah, no, that 250 kind of washed a little bit last week on Friday. Was looking for that for that push, doesn't really come in, and we take a little bit of a breather in and around that 250. Some of these prior highs right here, 264s is this prior high where we pulled back quite significantly off of. 241s, a little bit of potential support here as well. Even 243s. What's the low of day there from Friday? Pre-market lows, it would seem, in around 240, 230s. Actually, you know what? That might have been opening range. Yeah, exactly. Opening range low, 243s, 242s, and some change. So we're going to be watching some of these levels. If that strength kind of continues, again, off of deliveries, off of very strong catalyst, and also breaking out of a technical. So there's a lot of confluence this long had a lot of confluence prior week, but I'm curious to know whether the intraday trade or the 1 week swing is a little bit I guess underwhelming for this kind of move, this kind of confluence of catalysts that Tesla has been having. The question I'm asking is this going to be a multi-week, a multi-time frame kind of move with such a strong breakout of a multi-year trend resistance? So I'm going to continue watching this. 53.68 is the high. You can see I got my alert up there as well, just above that to look for the long there if we continue. But if we take a little bit of a pullback, that's perfectly fine as well. But Tesla definitely on watch today.
All right, I should have a microphone again, so. Good. Baby steps. Let's go to Meta and Google here. All-time highs, as we said. I mean, Wells Fargo waits until all-time highs and then jumps on the bandwagon by giving them both an upgrade and a price target increase here this morning. I mean, we literally closed on Friday at the highs and then stayed there in the aftermarket. It's crazy, like 542 now for Meta.
And Meta was a rocket ship last week, Brenda. It was gaining $10 a day. It was quite strong, so we'll have to keep an eye on it this week. But here's a look. Wells Fargo giving Google the nod despite the fact that it's down today, raising the price target up from 168 to 187. No context, sadly, coming with that. They also gave the nod to Meta and boosted the price target there to $625. From a previous rating of 593, so good premium. They also, Wedbush also gave the nod to Meta as well today with a price target of 570 up from 480. So good look for both.
Yeah, massive range to work with. 530, also a bit of support going back to Friday's session midday, but $10 at a time, I guess, for Meta here today, guys.
Meta. I mean, wow, even Google today with that big candle. Wow, up to 190 and change. Okay, so I'll talk about Google real quick because I was looking at it. You know, that move breaking through that 188 there that we just saw was right into here, and that 190 breaking through that 187.50, I guess on Friday, as me and Obi were just talking about what was going on there on Friday. Again, all-time high, 52-week high. You know, can't be all-time without 52-week, I guess. But there's the breakthrough 180. And, I mean, that's been super strong all the way to the upside right now. It does have a 200 spike on it for sure. I mean, it's going to get to that level probably as we ramp up into earnings. But I just wonder if some of these names just need a little bit of time to cool off, right? I mean, the cooling period right now is on Amazon. It doesn't appear to be on Apple. It doesn't appear, it could be on, it's on Tesla as well. We just talked about Amazon really breaking similar levels, right? Breaking that 190, just like Google broke 180, and then jumping about $10, very similar to Google, and now having a hard time getting to that next level again, right? And so some of these names are going to start to get lifted up. And I wonder if Google and Tesla are going the other way right now. They're starting to cool down a little bit with NVIDIA, but it doesn't mean there's anything wrong with the names. That's why you're getting these upgrades. I don't know, earnings season for these, or just starting off on the banks this coming Friday. So you're going to get a couple weeks after that. You'll be into Google, you'll be into Meta. And I just think these names continue to work. So I like the long here, but for me today, neither one of these names are on my radar. When you're looking at a name like Intel, up 3, right? We like Intel. I mean, you know, motivation there, nice move there. You got a name like NVIDIA that I can actually stand behind and understand where this strength could be coming from. Right now in Google, I almost feel the opposite. Although it is my number one holding, it's great. It's good, not great right now is what I'm going to go with.
Nice. Yeah, no, Meta is definitely on my watch list this morning, pushing through all-time highs. It was very, very aggressive on Friday. Let's take a look at a shorter time frame here, a 3-minute chart. It is doing some relative volume in the pre-market, 2.5, which is still pretty decent for a large cap here. But take a look at this. Opens up at or near low of day, closes at high of day on Meta on Friday. So absolutely wild strength there, pushing through those all-time highs, prior highs being in and around those two 520s there. Now we're just on, just knocking on the door, just shy of 550 there. So I'll be watching for some of those levels. If we get that continuation here of any sort of strength that came in on Friday, I think Meta definitely poised for a little bit of a move here, maybe potential continuation as well. But yeah, take a look at the weekly here. We are blasting off 2 fresh highs here. So it pulls back, can't really get that far below, can't even touch 400 on the pullback here just a little bit earlier a few months ago, and then rips right back up towards all-time highs, 540s in the pre-market as of right now. And yeah, Goggle as well, kind of not looking too much of the same in terms of pre-market action. Pre-market isn't holding some of those prior days levels, but Google pulling back a little bit here, trading at 189, 190.86 is the high. But yeah, that strength definitely very similar to that of Meta here. And going down to a shorter time frame, you can see that Friday also very similar, where we open up literally at or near that low of day above prior support, prior resistance levels, and then continuation closing near high of day there with a little bit of a slowdown and consolidation going in. But we're selling off in the pre-market back through that 190. So I'm curious to know, and ask that same question, if this bid is real, where will it catch? And it seems as if maybe I'll be looking at that 187, maybe the low 180s here, mid to low 180s potentially, if we can get all the way down there. But again, with the stocks being this strong in the market, tailwind as well being just as strong, I'm going to be a little wary for the short side on some of these names, but Meta definitely on watch for me.
All right, let's go on to Chinese ADRs here. A few downside this morning, as we were mentioning early on. If you're with us in the first 30 minutes, EV specifically under a bit of pressure here. To the tune of about 2% for NIO. XPeng looking about the same gap to the downside. It was a negative session I saw overnight over in the APAC region. But, I mean, there's nothing significant as far as news here.
No, not this week, Brendo. Last week, though, we got the range of the tariffs are going to be added on to Chinese-made electric vehicles that are imported into Europe. Li Auto doesn't really stand to really get hurt from this because they don't export cars, but NIO, XPEV, Zeekr, even BYD, they're all going to have to basically deal with tariffs ranging between 17 to 37%. Tesla specifically can apply for derogation of that tariff, so we'll have to keep a lookout on that, especially for Tesla. But there was this headline overnight, Brendo. China takes a lead in driverless robo-taxis, free rides now available for riders in Shanghai from a number of different companies.
Sign me up.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Yeah, no, I'm looking at XPEV here. Definitely very, very weak on the longer time frame. This is a daily chart here, and we are trading near, I guess, some of these support levels. So potential for taking a look at if we're at these support levels, but yeah, looking sideways here. Not really, I guess, on my radar for a day trade. Similar thing with NIO here, but it could definitely be interesting with a higher time frame perspective, especially on XPEV, as it is coming into these the support where every time it has been at these prices since about the end of 2022, mid to end of 2022, it's caught a little bit of a bid every time from around the $7, $8 mark here, with the lows coming in at $6.18, all-time lows on XPEV. But taking a look at the bigger time frame chart, we are making lower lows and lower highs here, but a little bit sideways consolidation that did, I guess you would consider this a break of that trend roughly when you consolidate sideways for a couple of years there on XPEV. But yeah, we'll keep an eye on them. I know that Lucid's moving around on those delivery numbers, but doesn't really fall underneath the Chinese ADRs when it comes to EVs. But yeah, we can potentially keep an eye on XPEV and NIO as well.
Yeah, so we'll be quick because we only have 3 minutes now until we're open. Make sure you get our watches. Make sure you take the sticky note. I think if you're going to look to short something today, it would be probably these Chinese names. I mean, Alibaba's now down 1.27%. Shout out to my good friend Shakib. We have Hydration Nation going on. So
Shakib.
I know he likes Alibaba, but today, there it is. Get that that was like chugging along there, that Hydration Nation. But yeah, you're underneath. There's not too many charts that look like the 20 period starting to swoop down like that. So yeah, I would say this is a short, unfortunately. I love the name here. It was given the kiss of death when everyone started buying it up here in the 80s. Now it's all the way back down to 70 again. So what a huge run for Alibaba. It sucks because we're still long down here and we had an opportunity to get out and we didn't. So I thought it was a long-term play. It looks like it is coming back in. Watch out for 72 break lower. But yeah, for me on Alibaba, I love the short in and around 70. I was going to say 74, but we're too close to that. 74.50 for Alibaba. All right, before we get going, let's go talk about Boeing.
Yeah, real quick, a couple of minutes ago here, Boeing going to plead guilty to defrauding U.S. regulators over the 737 MAX safety issues. DOJ coming up with a plea agreement. Stocks up this morning, which means typically a lot of people were expecting this to maybe be resolved a little bit worse for the overall company. So, I mean, it's still not a positive story here, but we'll see what happens.
Certainly not. About of $250 million going to have to pay here in a fine. They are going to be, I don't know how this is going to work. A corporation is going to be a convicted felon, independent compliance officer for 3 years to be stationed at their company. And they're going to have to invest about $455 million in compliance and safety programs. This could complicate, though, some of their sales, Brendel. 32% of their revenue is with government. And now if you're a convicted felon, even if you're a company, it makes getting that contract process a bit harder.
I feel like this is only the beginning as far as the resolution to this as well goes, but 3 years with a compliance officer?
I know, right?
I feel like they should have one anyway, but...
Right? I mean, why are they self-compliance? I don't get that. But.
it's coming back in right now, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah,
bit of
Pat, you have
Arvo.
anything to say on Boeing?
I mean, it's doing a bit of Arvo here, but nothing too crazy. I'm sure that relative volume coming in off of that news, but we'll keep it on watch. Not my number one idea on the day, but definitely it seems like there are people interested in it, seeing as it is doing what, almost over 3 times, almost 4 times the relative volume in the pre-market here. But yeah, we'll see. Let's see how the trading day goes. I'm just going to be waiting for things to set up and fall in.
Countdown is now on. Palantir with a big buy imbalance as well. Watch out for 28.50 as it's coming through right here. And we only have 4, 3, 2, and 1. We are now open. Let's watch out for Palantir as well. Nice little dip buy opportunity possibly here in the market, especially for a name like Palantir as that's coming way in right now. I'm going to buy some Palantir there. So where are we long? I don't even know. It is making a move to the downside right now. Palantir, there we are. We're long at 64. So let's, I'm going to try to dip buy this. This name is really falling here. PLTR was up. We are now long at 27.60, but pretty light right now as this market is moving to the downside. We did have a big Palantir imbalance. So let's not forget about that one. It's starting to come in right now. Intel's starting to come in. Everything really coming in right now. But I think this is a buy the dip opportunity.
Yeah, definitely. I think, I guess Intel I got on watch. Amazon I got on watch. Some of my in-play names here, Google, AMD, Meta, Walmart, Spider as well. You can see how strong the market is. So I think the market is definitely a little bit in play there, and Spider is one of the only ones that's kind of pushing for its highs, along with NVIDIA as well. NVIDIA catching a little bit of a bid, relatively different than some of these other constituents here on the day, and Alphabet taking a little bit of a quadrunk there. What is Tesla up to? Tesla is still holding that 248, so going to continue watching that. AMD though, AMD with the strength. So maybe that's the one to kind of get involved with, as that 175 holds quite well. Prior day highs coming in at 174, and we are pushing even harder off of some of those levels there. But I'm going to stay patient. The NQ is looking distinctly different from the ES, so we're going to have some discrepancy here in some of the names. Meta pulling back as well, very, very strong. So I'm going to be a little patient and wait for some of my playbook setups to potentially, I guess, come in there. So let us know in the chat what you guys are up to this morning. What are some of your trade plans for the day? Are you waiting for something to come in, or have you already gotten involved with 2 minutes in?
We're involved, man. This ain't Neil sitting over here. We've got some big moves happening right now. We've got Intel blasting up to the upside. Shout out to Neil. We'll be back tomorrow. There it is. Look at Intel. Let's go. Let's spin that money right here. We're 30 cents in the money on Intel dip buy opportunity. And there it goes. This is one of our number one names here on the stick. You know what we're trading today? Intel and Palantir. Look what's happening to both of these names. What was I saying? Let's buy some Palantir on weakness. There it goes. Nice upside move right there for PLTR as we continue to go. And there goes Intel as well. So far, big moves here happening. Nice dip buy opportunity there for Intel. Should have obviously had a little bit more faith in that one, but this is a big name for us. And there it goes. 40 cents now for Intel and 15 for Palantir. So far, you mentioned AMD before.
Yeah.
And I mean, that name continues, man. 177 right now for advanced micro devices as that is going ham right now. That is NVDA up to 128 as well. So all these names really, really starting to blast off. Man, Palantir right now, guys. I mean, we're back. We're back. You know, you take time off, but you just go right back to the well. We talk about some of these names. As soon as Brendan mentioned Palantir today, I was like, let's go over and have a quick look over there at PLTR. But there it goes. It's a nice move to the upside here. We'll see what happens moving forward. But right now, Palantir, 30 cents in the money. Intel, 40 cents in the money, eh?
Quite a few of these crypto miners pushing higher, but Bitfarms is especially one to keep an eye on here. BITF. This one has this ongoing saga with Riot trying to take over the company. Riot's actually launching a website called abetterbitfarms.com as part of its special meeting of Bitfarms shareholders to overtake its board. Bitfarms also getting a new CEO, which is their chief mining officer, Ben Gagnon. So keep an eye on BITF as this Riot situation unfolds.
Right. Yeah. No. I got an alert for I think IBIT there hitting a support, but I guess it didn't really pull it up. Just waiting, watching. So there it is again, 3260s potential support. I'm getting another alert there for IBIT. You know what? I might as well pull it up and see what is going on with. You know what? Okay, it's just sideways consolidation here. So it's just kind of teetering around where I have my alert in and around this prior day's high, I think. Just above that, and it's going sideways as of right now. The NQ taking a little bit of a wick right back up, so I'm going to be continuing to watch some of these names here. But yeah, Spider is one of the only ones that kind of is pushing up towards its highs, including Nvidia, and yeah, Meta not looking too good as of right now. Trading at 534 is about 10 points down. But Sean, seems like SMCI is a chip name to be in. It's already up over 20 points off of the open there. Very, very strong opens in and around, 867s, trading at 889s now, almost 890. So it seems like that's kind of coming into that 1 thou mark very, very fast.
Yeah, I mean, we just, like we always talked about, right? I don't trade SMCI, but yeah, what a big mover that was. There we had Intel written down here, the number one name on the watch list, the number one name, not number one name, but one of the names that came in here for us off the open. So we knew we wanted to get long. Intel was up 3 and a bit. Now you're just back out and you just took out pre-market highs again of 33.20. So we went all the way to the upside. We were able to get 3 outs up here as well as we started to get lighter and lighter on these positions, and not to get too excited. It was nice to have a couple winners there right off the bat. So we'll now that we're in the pocket of this market, look at the move down in, right? So you had a nice move back up there. It could be time to start to reload some of these positions. But again, when you have bigger wins there off the open like that, where you basically pick the bottom and then it goes back up to the upside, that's, again, good areas to try to think about getting something back through. One name that's really come in here, Apple. Yeah, so Intel's really holding out here. Apple, not so much. As it starts to come back in, we are going to get a little bit more of Intel down here. So I'm bidding Apple right here at 225. So I don't, I'm going to cancel this bid, to be honest with you, for right now. Let's just see what Apple wants to do. We talked about 224 and change, 224.40 maybe. So let's go to 224.60 and see about taking some longs here in Apple. We did get this one, though, as you guys heard me say. We did get a little reloaded here in Palantir. So let's just buy that 50 there, 53s, and see if we can get something out back now here around VWAP 60s, 70s or so, and then watch that go to the upside. But as you mentioned as well, it looks like chip names still continue to be real strong. So AMD, although I want to watch out for Apple because Apple's now bouncing in and around. AMD just pulled back as well, man, into 175. That could be a good get buy opportunity.
Yeah, Intel is holding its VWAP as of right now. So I have it on watch. It pulls back into 33s, which is in and around just 33.14 I have as VWAP, and it pulls back in and holds. So on a shorter time frame there, so we've kind of grabbed these lows here just shy of 33 in the pre-market, 32.90s. Basically did a little bit of a lick grab there, and now we're pushing towards those highs. So let's see if we can get some of that. We were talking about that 34 mark being quite interesting there, and Tesla as well. Tesla, that 246 level was very interesting over the past couple of weeks, and I pulled it up as Tesla came into that 246, and oh boy, does that bid catch off that 246. We're trading at 248 as of right now, so definitely missed an entry on that one there, and confluenced with a little bit of that 20,600 bounce on the NQ here, for some of these tickers. So 200 potentially coming right back in on Amazon. Let's see if some of this bigger picture trend holds. I'm looking for a potential lift of that seller that's been, I guess, market's been super strong, and Amazon's been looking like it can't really get through that 200, but holding up nice and tighter day by day there. So maybe today's the day, maybe this is the week, but I want to stay a little bit involved on this ticker just to see if and when that'll come in. But that 246 on Tesla, oh boy, that bounce, we got about a 2-point bounce off of a strong flush into that 246. Let's see what we do in and around that 246 here on Tesla today. But like I said, I'm going to stay patient to see if to wait for some of these levels to come in. Not doing the best here though, not catching that 246 on Tesla, but I'll continue to watch. It can come right back in, and maybe look for some trend here. We did consolidate all day on Tesla on Friday after 2 strong days, so I'm going to be looking for either more of that consolidation or maybe some direction up or down here. But as of right now, we're trading a little bit sideways underneath this 250, revisiting some of these key levels we've been observing over the past week or so on Tesla. Intel pushing for fresh day highs, coming into that pre-market high, 33.64s incoming here. So yeah, definitely holding that VWAP. Look at that VWAP hold, very, very crisp VWAP hold. The low that candle gets only about a couple pennies away from that VWAP. VWAP at that point on the second 3-minute candle being at 33.13 and the low coming down to 33.50, and so only about 2 points. So VWAP holding very well on Intel as of right now. Don't have too much else on watch here. I know that, again, Intel's strong. Amazon is trying to get there. Meta's weak, straight to the downside. Dell is actually strong. AMD pulling back off of its highs at 177s. Nvidia very strong as well. And oh boy, can I smell those eggs, Sharif. Those smell amazing.
Right now, guys, we are now really starting to go right here. Apple, man, did we buy that dip at 224 or what? We're long at 224.40s right now as we're in the 70s. And by the way, Intel, great call on that one. Now 70 cents in the money as Intel, good look on that one, Obi, as Intel just continues to go higher and higher and higher. This is a monster day here for me to start the week. Let's see if we can continue it. It's only 9:40, Adara.
Around here to be aware of. One of them is a Novus Bio, ANVS. This one moved last week. We've got about a 12% short float for ANVS, about 8 million share float. We also have Nikola, NKLA. We know this one also moved as well last week with its delivery numbers being higher than expected. Lots of social media attention today for NKLA. 20% short float at day's high, guys.
Oh, man.
Okay, Nikola.
Man. All right, guys, honestly, let's fire it off, man. We're back. We are back right now. There goes Apple. We're long at 224.39. The number one trade here was Apple getting down to 224. We got that, and now we're long. So let's start to get a little bit more out here of Apple as we are. Oh, man. I mean, look at this. Buying the dips here in Palantir has been paying off, but Palantir is not moving the way I thought it would. I thought it would blast a little bit more. So let's hold on to some Palantir. We're just getting some out at VWAP right now. It's all right, but not huge. The biggest stock of the day, though, for me, well, it's going to be Apple by far. Like the net P&L wise, Apple is number one for me by far today. But Intel on that little dip buy isn't too shabby. Nice move up there. We're starting to get some more out there for Intel. Intel's 75. So the 3 trades we have on so far today, Intel's 75 cents in the money, Apple's 70 cents, and Palantir has been huge, but is only 15. So right now, and then we called today possibly the NVIDIA day. Looking at it and thinking that it had a chance to run there today. It has done that. I mean, I'm happy that I'm looking where I'm looking, but again, if you're looking here, this has been a good one. There goes NVIDIA right now, taking out highs. And I just say, let's go, man. Carry Apple right now, man. That's a face slapper right now as we continue to go. We're now $1 in the money, almost now $1 as we go upside here on Apple, man. And this has been a monster. I'm not going to reload too many more Palantirs. In fact, I'm going to get some out here as we'll just ride with the winners that we have in Apple and Intel. Palantir's a win, but not moving the same way as others. So nice movement there for Apple today. We're just trading 3 names that are on the sticky note. We also have Coinbase and Tesla on here. We're going to find out about that one. Hey, all this energy, and we're like, not even one coffee in.
Yeah, I know. I gotta get another one soon.
You want another one? On it. What's up, Adara?
GLW here pushing higher. Corning, this one, adjusting its Q2 sales guidance here above expectations, 3.6 billion versus the prior of 3.4 and the estimate of 3.41 billion. Also having this EPS estimate in line with analyst estimates. So GLW, great look, guys.
All right. Some Corning on watch there. Yeah, you want to discuss maybe anything that you're looking at?
I'm looking at Tesla here. Tesla coming right back into that 246 as of right now. So we are rejecting VWAP. We held that 250 in the pre-market where we couldn't really get past that 249 off of the open, and then we reject VWAP at 248, which also happens to be a little bit of pre-market consolidation low. So that 246 I'm watching as well. A lot of volume was churning or churned in and around this level. A little bit of an over, a little bit of an under here. 244s I think caught a quite nice of a bid and mid to end of day on Tesla as well. So I'll be watching this range between 244 and 246 to see if we get a little more of the same. There goes the NQ. I was talking about that bounce off the 20,600, and oh boy, are we bouncing a little bit right there. So strong trend in the pre-market on both the ES and the NQ. And that same question I'm asking is, if the bid is real, where will it catch? As of right now, the bid is catching on 20,600, but the ES can't stop, won't stop. It just caught a bid right off of the open and continuing to push a little bit higher there. Let's see if Meta takes a little bit of a turn. Strong quadrunk of over 10 points right off of the open from 544s down to 533s, catching a little bit of a bid here as of right now, with only about 15 seconds left for this candle to print on I guess on a few time frames here, on the 15 as well. So gonna continue watching that. Intel stays pushing for those highs there, Sean. So I see that you are still long on that Intel, coming right into that 34 mark, those prior potential support resistance levels here. 46 bounces once again a little bit off of I guess 70 pennies there, but I'm going to stay a little bit more patient. Really let it show me that if we're going to hold for 246 here on Tesla and continue to the upside, I do want to stay involved in it. But we are trading below 250, below VWAP here, below pre-market levels as well. So I'm going to be a little bit more patient. Here comes 200 on Amazon. Let's see what we got in store with this one. 201, some of the highs that I'm looking for there. If we break distinctively through that 201, I think we have a potential to kind of go. But that seller, if you look at the chart on Amazon, it just seems like it's been kind of held down a little bit. Talk about a flat top kind of resistance happening there on Amazon here. I can kind of show you guys what I'm talking about here over the past week or so. Yeah, look at this, a little bit of a buildup. So we've had some strength pushing up into this 200 level, can't really get through, pull back all the way to 94s, but take a look at this. We're making higher lows, building up into it, and that consolidation on Friday, very, very peculiar. Look at that, all day in a very, very tight range for over 6 hours there on Amazon, and right now we kind of lick some of the lows of that consolidation, all day consolidation, and then pushing back up into 200. Like I said, I don't know if it's going to break today or even at all, but I'm looking for a potential push as we've been making higher lows building up into this level. It is the beginning of the week there as well, so I got to stay a little bit patient. Here comes 34 on Intel, Sean.
Oh, yeah,
solid trade.
Yeah, thanks, man. We got out of that one. And now Intel will be the #1 P&L stock because Apple fell. Apple broke through 224. So we got out of that level. Again, it's a good thing that we're able to get out. We got some out at above 225 there. I'm just back in case, and there wasn't too much volume here, so I'm not in love with this trade. I just thought maybe there's a lot of traders like myself that got flushed out down there at 224. So I was hoping for a little bit of a rebound. So now we're 10 cents in the money on the rebound, but I'm just going to get something out at 05, just kind of like halfway back to 10 there. There it is. So we get that out. As now this is trying to battle back just a little bit. I was going to give it to that bottom of 80s again. So if it does break through there, it does break through there. And yeah, good look there on Intel's. We just got out there at 34. And Obi, you asked, and Randy is always,
thank you, Randy.
Man of the people. So thank you so much there, Randy.
Yeah, Amazon, dude.
Of that. Amazon flying?
Yeah, 201 is coming right back.
Did it just break 2 bills already?
Yeah, 200. I was talking, and it just goes and I'm like, oh boy, I don't have enough of this ticker right now. I did plan on taking a lot more there, but let's see what we do with that 201. Again, it's perfectly fine. Like I said, if we convincingly break through that 201 and hold, I think we're poised for a little bit of a move there. And here come my alerts on that 201 here on Amazon. Absolutely wild there. It is accelerating to the upside here. Let's see how well this 200 mark holds. I'm more than willing to kind of piece off, piece back in. Again, let it kind of do its thing. If it's going to have bursts like this, might not necessarily want to be, I guess, looking away from it as per se. But yeah, it comes right into 201 and getting some strong selling once again. So maybe the book heard me. I don't know. We'll see. 200 coming right back in. 246 actually broke on Tesla as well. So got to keep an eye on that one.
Yeah, it was. So we're taking one lot, like Palantir's we're long at 27.22. So in this market dumping back down in here, it's not like we're basically going to be flat on all of these trades. I mean, it's not on Intel. Thankfully, Intel is blasting right now and continues to go higher. But I'm not giving this too many pennies underneath $27. So, you know, we're almost through it. How this could be a 30-cent hit if we do take this out. Here it comes right back in here for Palantir. So we got a little excited today. It looks like it was fade the top. You know, I thought it was going to break out, continue to go higher here on a NASDAQ that was rallying early, but, you know, faded there late and now is under VWAP and looking to go lower. So not a great little look here for that name, Palantir. I feel like we might need to flip over to shorts. We said that if we were going to go short, there goes Palantir, broke through. So we'll actually wind up being red. Right there on Palantir because of that break. We'll look to get back into it, but it just broke 26.90, so we actually got it at 89, which is fine. But here's Apple, right? Good win because we were able to average into it. We let this all happen, but then it dropped through, which is fine. We were able to take a little bit of profit there. Then we got back long at that same level that we got out and took some out for like 20, 30 cents. So I don't know. Some of these names right now just looking weak, man. Under the 50 period, under the 200. Looks like your name in Amazon continues to work, and so does Intel, which is nice. And Apple's trying to bounce from these levels as well. But for right now, feel pretty comfortable sitting in some of these trades and then seeing if anything else winds up lining up. You know, like maybe looking at that Tesla, as you mentioned. There are some other names. So we'll have a quick look. That's your coffee for you, by the way, Obi.
Oh, thank you very much.
Yes.
Yeah, so 200 holding as of right now, a little bit of a hover over 200 halves. Got a little bit more there. Again, I got to pay closer attention to some of these tickers when they really start going. I think like we've seen the kind of strength. Look at the NQ. Oh boy, we are ripping right back towards day highs. There it goes, accelerating 20,650. Oh boy, definitely there's some teleportation happening there. Look at that. It's just bouncing up points at a time. What is this strong in the market right now? There goes NVIDIA. NVIDIA is 130. Amazon's really strong as well. Softy's starting to pick up. Apple, no real sign of a pop as of right now. Alphabet still holding near its lows. So it seems like some of these tickers here, what's Meta up to? I know Van Eck is screaming to the upside. SMCI is taking a little bit of a pullback here. And where is Meta? Meta is still near its lows. So it seems like there's just a few names that are pushing some of these tickers here. Broadcom as well. Broadcom aggressively strong. We know that's one of the top constituents as well here. Intel with a little bit of a pullback. Couldn't really get through that 34 as of right now. We're taking a little bit of a pullback. VWAP at 33.41 here on Intel. So I'm kind of waiting patiently to see what we do with this 201 on Amazon. 246 coming right back in. 245 bounce on Tesla. Let's see, this market is super strong, getting a little bit volatile here. I'm going to be, I guess, a little bit more patient to see if some of these moves, if the bid is actually going to catch all day again, as it has been on a few tickers over the past week or so. Maybe today is Amazon's day. Who knows?
Oh man. Yeah, I think it could be a lot of potential here for a bigger day. We did get back into Palantir. If there's any other names, because it just took 27 again, so we took it back in. Now we're 10 cents in the money, so we're trying to make back a little bit of damage that was put on there. Apple though is not working. Like we had a huge move to the upside right there. You just talked about taking out 230, so we wind up taking some out here at 220. 24.30, but there it is. It just dropped back in again. So the name that we want to short today is going to be Apple. It looks like that's going to be confirmed right now, as it was kind of up on the day and now just fading out. So like this is well worth the risk to me. Like we buy it there at 90s, we get some out here higher, and now we'll wait to see if it comes into the low side of that. Intel did fade back in. That could be a VWAP play as well. I'm wondering though that you mentioned NVIDIA. I just, you know, like we had talked about that at 128, taking out those highs, and that something could happen today on NVIDIA, and that's exactly what's happening there on NVDA. So I'm wondering about the strength in the sector, and then just maybe playing off this dip by opportunity here on Intel. I'll have to check out that scanner that Michael made for us as well. 33.50. Okay, so it is a nice, real nice pullback here for Intel. I think I'm going to add to this position. So let's just buy there. We bought some 41s. Let's see what happens here as we continue to go lower. I just wonder if the market's going to bounce here off of the 50 period, and then you also have VWAP here for Intel. So let's give it a chance. Let's give this one name a chance. So we'll buy a little bit more here, adding to our strongest name of the day here with Intel. So let's check that out. Check out, by the way, we had Daniel Schleffer, great podcast this week. So
yeah, I saw that. It's solid.
Yeah. I love how he
Lots
talked
of good
exactly, pretty much
information,
exactly the same way I do about how tough it is to become a trader, and how it is a tough path. But he talked about the hiring process and what he went through and all that stuff. So that was a lot of fun. So definitely go check that out. And thanks for the shout out on that one, Daniel. So all right, here we go. I'm going to be buying more Intel, so I just did that at 330 and change. Let's see if, 33.40. Let's see if we get a little bit higher. I don't have any offers. I mean, I'd like to get back into the 80s here for Intel.
Yeah, 201.20s is high a day here on the Amazon. We're coming right into that 201. So I was like questioning. I was like, what is this price action kind of telling me here as of right now? Prior highs were just pretty much on the dot. 201s. We go up 201.20s very, very aggressively. We pull back in. Hold VWAP, can't even get all the way back down, and there's a little bit of flurry there on the Amazon coming right back above that 201 level here. Yeah, okay, so I did get a little bit more on those pullbacks. Still not enough, but it is what it is. We have what we have now, and I guess now it's just kind of just waiting to see if the trade actually comes in. Do we get any sort of convincing break, or do we come back down in towards that VWAP for a little bit of relief? So we are kind of aggressively selling back down as of right now. So I do have to kind of keep my eye on this one just to see what kind of comes in here. 260. So yeah, definitely an interesting area, as we've mentioned before, as again, that wash that's been happening on this name in and around that 200 mark. Very, very, I guess, interesting building up into it. Take a look at Tesla. Tesla is ripping to the upside as of right now. 247's incoming. So that 245 held extremely well here, and 200 breaking right back below very, very aggressively on the Amazon. Let's see what we do in and around VWAP. VWAP is just at that 200 mark here. So aggressive selling after retesting some of that 200, 201 highs, 201.20s being the day highs as of right now, trading back below that 200 mark. But oh boy, Tesla is the one, Sean. It is ripping back towards those day highs there, 249 intraday highs, 250s pre-market levels there.
250, 248. I hear some like
someone's
buzzing or something, cutting or something.
Okay.
Really?
Interesting.
Okay, so look at this reload, guys. We just talked about this. We did it live on the show. I mean, I don't know if you guys are watching, following the trades or not. We're going to have some winners, some losers. That is for sure. But look at this reload there. Obi, we just bought Intel at VWAP. I mean, these are the trades. These are the trades that I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get better at all this. Patrick turns over to me and goes, wow, look at Palantir. You kind of had to know something like that may have happened. And I was like, yeah, we're long. So we're long, but again, we did get taken out basically at those lows. So when that happened, that sucked. But we're back in it. It's a green day, but not as good, because I would have loved to not have gotten punched out of that one. Apple took a little bit of our money, and I'm not going to go long on this name, even though it does look like it wants to battle back. SMCI, yeah, people are really still talking about that one. 912 right now. I remember when we had, I think it was Danielle Shea, we had Brian Shannon, we had a whole bunch of traders talk about this having that magnet at 1,000, but it's also been a magnet the other way as well. I mean, it's hit 1,000 and come back off of it. So it's like, when you've had the positive and the negatives, you know, it hits it and then bounces right back off of it again. So where is my, right there, 1,090, 1,019 seems to be around the high there. So if SMCI can break this 930, yeah, I do think we probably, I mean, it's up 8%. Was there individual news on SMCI today? Maybe Adair, if you could look that one up for us, that would be interesting to see because we didn't really see, we saw that there was an upgrade on NVIDIA. So we know about that one. We know Broadcom is obviously going to be splitting, and Broadcom had a great report as well. All these names continue to want to run, but it is a little bit of a pullback right now. I do want to take out some more Intel now, as I was just looking at. Give me those 74s. Give me that price right there. So we'll take that. We get a little bit more out on that. Palantir watching out for that. I didn't want to be in Intel if some of these other names are going to come back in. Looks like NVIDIA is trying to make that move. If we do get a pullback, Obi, into 129, maybe there for that. Ooh, I just saw someone in the chat talk about GameStop. How was that last week? Was that doing anything? Intel's my, like this to me is, we take the long early because it was the number one idea that we were looking for Intel, for the chip names, right, was the downside. We have actually Apple written down here as a 228. It never even broke that level, so I'm questioning if I should have been long anyways. But right there, good trade early, $1, and then it fell back into VWAP and gave us a nice bump back up. But you see, I don't want to be like hanging around for too long as this NASDAQ can't make up its mind. So let's offer some more in around 70 as we get ready to go. There's a number, I believe, coming out at 10?
No.
No,
There
says
are-
Adara.
there are no numbers.
Incorrect on that one. So, yes.
Numbers today.
See, they stamp to fail on me for the most useless things, and then when I actually fail, it's just like trash talk in my ear, and nobody sees the fail. There it is. Oh, and we get a bang. All right, I like that one. All right, so Intel right now, 25 and 28 cents. What's your Amazon's battling, right? As
a little
Tesla
bit of a battle
back
here.
up to 250. But we'll talk about all of that because we got to go to Adara regardless what's happening now.
No numbers today, but we will be getting some excitement later in the week, including CPI on Thursday and PPI on Friday. Then tomorrow and Wednesday, we're going to be getting some semi-annual testimony from Fed Chair Powell, so there will be a lot of excitement to look out for. We have quite a few interesting things happening today. We had a bit of a rebound in Bitcoin after that move that we had on Friday. SPY trying to fall a little bit here at 10 p.m., but generally 10 a.m., so we're generally pushing higher here on the 15-minute chart. So could be some more upside here for the markets. Some names to keep an eye on here, including Boeing, up 2.5% right now after striking a plea deal with the DOJ for fraud over the 737 MAX safety and crashes. We also have XPeng here, XPEV, down about 5.5% in tandem with these other Chinese EVs and ADRs, as Chinese stocks hit a more than 4-month low, trading during their session domestically on Monday. Last but not least here, TSM has been falling a little bit at this 190 level, but up right now almost 3% on the day, getting some price target increases here from Morgan Stanley and some other analysts. This is also being attributed to that move up in Intel, so keep an eye on TSM and this Morgan Stanley news. And we are brought to you by Benzinga Pro. Benzinga Pro paid for itself on day one. That's a real review from a real trader using Benzinga Pro. Thanks to Benzinga Pro's exclusive news alerts, real-time market insights, and community of over 6,000 dedicated traders, it's the fastest way to trade the news. And right now, you can try Benzinga Pro for the lowest price we offer during our July 4th sale. Use the QR code on the screen or click the link in the description box and join Benzinga Pro today.
All right, thank you.
All right, Benzinga. Yeah, I mean, that's what we brought that NX news or whatever that was.
Earlier, yes.
Benzinga earlier as well. So there it is. I was going to say, I'm buying this Tesla. I mean, we already marked it down that we wanted this 250 break. So there it goes now. We are in it. So we'll get something out here at 30 if we can. Nice little move higher here. We're only long at 12s. So we'll take a little bit out here as it's 50 cents now in the money. This is a trade that we wanted, so we took it. It's Tesla, and there it goes. We're long at 250. This is, again, we put down Tesla here, get long, breaking through 250. So there it goes, man. We're long now. Just not so many, just a couple hundred shares. We'll see if we can get a little bit higher right now on Tesla as we get going. So we'll just start to take some out here, put a little bit in our pocket. You know, Got to pay for that hockey camp somewhere. As right there, there it is, right there. It's a nice little hot dog cannon. There it is, man. It's $1 in about 15 seconds. So there it goes, a nice move up there for Tesla on the break. Oh yeah, for Tesla, nice move to the high side.
Oh yeah, indeed. Definitely a lot. That Tesla strength comes in real hot. We're talking about that 246 being a little interesting. Comes down to 245s and then rips all the way past some of those pre-market levels. 251s incoming once again. So definitely missed a move there on Tesla. Market came all the way back down to 20,600, and take a look at this wicking action happening right now. So still got about 10 minutes left in this 15-minute candle to print, and we come all the way down and then rip right back up. So this market is coming right back in with some of that strength. 200 chopping around still here on Amazon, so still kind of an interesting level. Volatility both to the upside and to the downside, but Tesla can't stop, won't stop, still going. It seems like that bid is catching right back on.
Neil might be mortgage free after last week. Look at this name here, 252.
Wow, that is wild.
I mean, we are blasting. We're just $2 in the money on easy peasy.
That's a real squeeze,
lemon
man.
squeezy.
That is straight
You heard of that
squeeze.
one before, Ramin? Easy peasy lemon squeezy? How about easy peasy mac and cheesy? Anyways, trading's not easy, but here goes Tesla now. $3 in the money goes Tesla. That's a face slapper no matter which way you do it. We're at the highest spot we've been at all day right now. Thank you, Tesla and Mr. Elon Musk. What's up, Adara?
Keep an eye on some of these Chinese EVs right now. I have NIO up here, NIO. We're getting some comments from the China Commerce Ministry, basically refuting media reports on these recent EU EV tariff consultations, saying they're grossly inconsistent with the facts, basically calling on Europe to resolve its economic and trade issues through dialogue and consultation, and basically saying that China is going to be taking measures to safeguard its rights against these practices that basically are prioritizing economic and trade issues. Just keep an eye on some of these Chinese EVs with these comments in mind, guys.
All right. Yeah. Some of those, I guess EVs might be moving around on that, but great trade on Tesla there.
EVs,
Sean.
never heard of them.
Blasting. Talk about an EV trade.
Yeah. I mean, I'm guessing this is what last week. I mean, I was looking at the charts last week. There was some huge moves, and we had written down here. It's actually right on our sticky note. I'm going to post this up right now for Tesla that we had this 250 long, and it hit right. So it was there. There it goes. We just got some out at 252. It's a pretty decent one. And now we want to get out more Palantir as I realize that, oh my gosh, this is happening here on Palantir as well. I'm going to cancel that 40. We just took some out at 39s. Nice move upside for Palantir. Let's see if this one wants to continue to go, man. I've sort of lost a little bit of faith here. We're almost, oh, by the way, we have about 15 to 20% left of our Tesla trade. So I just want to bring that to everybody's attention there. When this moved that quickly off the open, I just started to take some out. So nice move higher. Let's see if it goes. I mean, we've topped off our day now. We'll try to get a little bit more in there. Again, on the break, we'd like to take the shares on a break. So would have liked to take a little bit more, but we're able to get in, put some money in our pocket now be at the high of the day. It's 10 o'clock. And the level that we're at right now would be, for me, a beach kind of a level there, which by the way, oh man, can't go on vacation now. You want to do this? No, we got to do it.
What's
together. There it goes. Here goes the 253 and change. But yeah, great trade. I don't know. I haven't been looking at Amazon. I know you mentioned it was
No,
pulling
it's
back.
not really. I guess.
By the way, Tesla right now is.
Damn.
That's a $4 winner.
That is wild.
Did you guys use that thing on last week or no?
No. I mean, we were in some multiple dollar winners, but I never really used the thing. The thing is, like, whenever I log into your side there, it refreshes the stream deck, so I can't use the same kind of animations.
Oh my gosh! Oh boy, fresh highs. Wow.
Goddamn.
We just got 254s there on Tesla right now. Make sure you like and subscribe. Make sure you like and subscribe to the show right here. I mean, what we traded today: Apple, Intel, Tesla, Palantir. Okay, Apple's trying to climb back upside, I'm hearing right now. So there it goes, 224, 224.50. It's too bad about this one. This is the short that I want, though. But I'm not going, to go short now seems crazy. But rate just in anything, because I'm much more long than anything else right now. We did just buy a little bit. Hey, Fabian, how's it going, man? Everything all right? Mike is all right? Okay. All right, so here we go. The best part about working here is just how much fun it is, honestly.
Oh, yeah.
Like when you're working with these guys, I mean, it really makes life just a little bit easier. But there we go, upside, especially after dealing with my kids all week. I love them. All right, so here we go on Intel. Let's just start to get a little bit out. Some of these names, it looks like some of the focus now is solely on the biggest and the baddest of them all, Tesla, and maybe NVIDIA as well. I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, see, so it looks like they're gonna give it up a little bit here on Intel back in. So my stop on Intel is non-existent because we didn't have that many shares to reload it back in there. We were going to use the 200 period. That's what we always do. So back into here, let's give it back into like 33. We don't have too many shares on this name, but I'm not liking it. So maybe I can get out a little bit here on this climb back up. There we go. We got some 32s. Okay. So let's reload this at 33.10 where the 200 period is on the 1 minute. Let's just try that for right now. Tesla's we just got out for $4 there. So now we're getting lighter and lighter. Now we have exactly 10% left of Tesla.
Yeah, nice trade, man. Let's that thing lasting up. I think 253 and some change was the highs of prior week there from a pre-market level, I think, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, we broke right through it, and we're starting to slow down just underneath, shy of 255 there. So gonna keep that on watch. Definitely missed out on that, paying too much attention here to the Amazon. I got to do a little bit better with trading multiple kind of tickers at once. But again, moves like this, I'm just like, okay, well, yeah, you had to get a little bit involved there. Even if you don't get that 245, 246 back through, that 250, that 249, some of these pre-market levels are opening levels as well, coming right back in and getting very, very aggressive along with the tailwind from the market. Yeah, definitely a missed opportunity on my part. But what is the next trade here? I'm kind of just being patient. Let's see if Tesla continues to push a little bit higher there. It's already done about 10 points. It's already done about roughly 1 ATR. I think 1 ATR being just shy of that 10-point mark on Tesla, and we've done exactly that right off of the open there. Well, not right off of the open, but right off of that 245. So very, very aggressive action incoming here on the Tesla move. So let us know did you guys catch a piece of that Tesla? Are you guys involved in any of the strong tickers or weak tickers today? And what are you guys trading? We can take a look at some of those names. I know Jeff Yonker in the chat mentioning SMCI is ripping. Yeah, definitely SMCI being one of the stronger names on the day that is definitely ripping faces off, about 20 points right off of the open there on SMCI. Wild moves on some of these tech names. There goes the NQ with a little bit of a bid, attempting to push back towards those highs, and ES with a little bit of a pullback as well. 4 minutes left on this 15-minute candle to print. Let's see where we go along the day here. I'm still seeing people talking about Mara. Okay, Mara might be something interesting. We know that Bitcoin has been moving around as well today. So a lot of interesting opportunities nonetheless, but a lot of volatility in some of these tech names right off of the open.
Okay, we just had a nice move up there in Palantir, and welcome everybody to the show. I hope you have found us, and if you have and you like it, please like and subscribe and share the stream. So that's what we're doing right now, is looking for different opportunities. We did talk about Boeing earlier. I mean, I'm kind of just in chill mode again. We talked about, we were happy before this Tesla trade, and then that Tesla trade came through. Boeing today, it was on our watch list, and it came to me with only a couple minutes left. Obviously, we were doing work on some of these other names that we have, and we've traded all 4 names that we did work on. So the only name we hadn't looked at yet was Coinbase, and I'm just seeing right now is crypto's 57 and 3,000. I'll push these up a little bit so you guys can see them a bit better, but I'm sure it's clear as there it goes, breaking through 56 right now. But Boeing, a nice move up to through 190. So we still looking at that level. I heard you mention some of this as well, up to 193, 192. So I'm not going to be interested until we get that day break. Boeing is just very, very news dependent. We know the Spirit, and there's been a whole bunch of different talks there with them purchasing. Spirit there, and we'll figure it out where we go. So Aero Systems, 195, that's coming into play. We might have been wrong on getting out of some Intel, but I'm going to double down on it. How does that sound? So I'm just going to be wrong again. I'm going to get out more up here at VWAP. We're in the money now, an amazing and a whopping 6 cents. I was looking for the cash register. It took me a minute to find that one. So yeah, nothing to write home about. But it's this one that's really, really making a difference now to the net, because we did get hit on Palantir, you know, and we talked about being red on that name. But you know what? And I hear a lot of traders talk about stuff like this. It's more than just being able to like believe in yourself. You know, you gotta sometimes test that belief. You know what I mean? When I say that, it's like, you can get hit on a name for sure, but then if it kind of lines up, like and I've done this a lot, and sometimes I believe in myself too much, okay? And it's like, it runs you over because you go long again and it keeps going down. But I just want to show you an example of this, all right? And where I feel like I'm getting better. And that is like Apple, because this was such a big move down there, I tried it again, I tried it twice. And then I let it go. I was like, if there's gonna be a short, I just think it's Apple. You know, but I didn't really have that, so I didn't fight it again. I didn't just keep on going long. And it would have worked, the long would have worked. But I wonder how many times I would have got stopped out into here. Because my first stop out there is at 75 break. It goes all the way down here into 30s. So unless I'm waiting for 223, I'm probably stopped out again. Whether or not I have the long back, I don't know if I make all my money back. But on Palantir, we were really patient with it. It came into 27. We loaded the boat. We went red on the name. But then we just sort of saw some of these wick bottoms, and we didn't buy it back immediately. We bought it back on a 27 break long. So we waited till we got the confirmation to go back into the long and hit it there. So for me, a little bit of a different trade there on Palantir than it was on Apple. We could have done the same thing on Apple, waiting for a 224 break. That could have been something. But again, just learning and making those changes, I feel like has really helped me. And I'm not, like I said, and also discussing, and I know Obi does this, I hope, you know, Neil, we'll all try to do the best we can here, is explain like, okay, I'm out of a certain number of this. Like even as this was ripping up, even as we were up here, I said, we only have 30% left or 20% left. Then we got that out, now we have 10% left. So holding things forever can work. It's just the market. Remember what the market was at, Obi, earlier on when we opened up the day? It was flat. You know, and now the market's still flat.
Yeah.
So you've got to take advantage sometimes of these swings and pay yourself when you're able to make a little bit on that one. Hold some for sure, I feel like, but definitely worth putting some money in your pocket when you get those big moves. Have a plan and stick to it.
Yeah, a little bit of a pullback happening off of those that 255 test on Tesla. Amazon still chopping in and around this 200 mark. We did kind of break back above VWAP. VWAP I have at 214. We're trading in the 220s right there. So I'm going to ask that same question you guys have been hearing me ask. Can we hold the quarter and print the half? Can we print the quarter and push to the half there? So we're kind of holding in and around the quarter mark here, above the 200 mark. We see that we've already kind of washed that 201 level off of the open there. Aggressive to the upside, aggressive all the way back down as well. Little bit of a wash on both sides, but we're holding higher lows. We're holding that 200. The market is going a little bit sideways, and Tesla pulling back in. So the question again, I'm going to ask a similar question on Tesla is, if this bid is real, if this bid is strong, where will it catch? I'm watching that VWAP in and around that 249, that 250. If we can even pull back that aggressively on Tesla, we shall see. But yeah, Amazon maybe looking for a little bit of a pickup now. Let's see if we do a little bit of a range day here. That volatility definitely interesting me on the push here. Let's see how far we can get. Can we even make it past that 201? As of right now, this price action is telling me that we wicked. We basically wicked. Maybe did a little bit of a lick of that prior high right there. Yeah, that pre-market high 201. What was that? 201 exactly in the pre-market from, what is this, past Wednesday, and then we just pop right into that level very aggressively. This is a 3-minute chart, and we attempt to push it, get only about 20 pennies above, and then come right back in. But take a look at this buildup we've been having. So a bigger picture there. We have kind of pushed the high of the range, and we've held the low of the range here in and around that 200. So I'm curious to know, would that 200 come in? The market is hella strong. Amazon's been kind of not really doing too much. But again, with the way the weekly's been setting up as well, I do kind of like it a little bit here. Tesla, though, definitely a missed op on my part with this amazing strength there. Shout out to Sean for having such a great long off of the break out of that, what, you had that 250? Yeah, you have the 250. So right there, pre-market high, kind of an aggressive push through the pre-market high, gives you about 4 points in the money. And then if you had it near 246s, kind of a key level from prior week, 244s as well, right here, making higher lows off of that and pushing aggressively to the upside. So Tesla definitely giving us some good excuse me, opportunities. I see somebody in the chat talking about Nikola. Let's take a quick look at Nikola as well. Wow. Sean, look at this one. Very, very strong VWAP hold off of $9 off of the open, printing about 11, up over 20% on the day here on Nikola. So it seems like some of these EVs might be pushing some of these levels. Let's take a quick look at NIO. Let's take a look at XPEV as well. XPEV doing kind of the opposite. What else am I missing? I think BYD might have been something. Doesn't really do too much, but yeah. Some of these. Oh, Rivian. Yeah. Let's take a quick look at Rivian as well. Right. Lucid had deliveries this morning. Let's take a look at LCID. Kind of giving up the move on that one, fading back in on Lucid Motors. So interesting moves nonetheless. Phony Baloney saying LLY is ripping. Okay, let's take a quick look at Lily here. LLY, oh boy, yeah, definitely 900, 911.88 on the lows, pushing to 924.80, 925.71s as day highs as of right now. A little bit of a pullback happening here on the ES. Let's see what we have in store for some of these other names. NVIDIA taking a pullback, SMCI taking a little bit of a pullback as well. Let's see what else. Spider, of course, if the ES is pulling back, I'm going to say the Spider is pulling back as well. But yeah, Apple finally catching a little bit of a bid there, Sean. So it might be interesting on that.
Yeah, I was looking at a couple of different names there. I was looking to see about like where we could get back into Tesla. But all right, so I want to try this name. I want to try Google. Well, okay, as you say, we can buy some more 70s here as it comes back in. So we're light on Tesla, so we're going to wait for that one. If it falls back in, we'll see, because our net will definitely change there on Tesla, although we only have 10% left. We're going to watch out for that. So this is 50s and 40s. So we're going to buy down here now on Google. I know it's been weaker. I was just thinking that if the market wanted to battle back, we had mentioned some names, you know, and we sort of picked on Google a little bit earlier. I said this name was going to be potentially one of the weaker names as it was settling itself down. I just wondered about that flush there, and then we double touched it back down at 188. So we are long a little bit early, and I'm not going to hold this through the 50 period, which is 40s. So I'm not in this for a huge time here. I just thought that maybe there was a chance that just even right here, remember we talked about the 50 period moving average coming into play here, and it did dip down into that, and we went lower, got a little exhausted. Now I'm trying to think about higher. So right now we'll hit the new position alert, because it is right there for Google. So now it's starting to go back up. We're long, well, it was at 79s there. Now it's back to 73. So we're long at 73.50. So we'll see if that one wants to work. And we were just talking about maybe reloading up some Tesla. It didn't get down into that 250 area, but it did get pretty close. I'm thinking about maybe a 253 out for another piece. But hey, if it wants to work, it wants to work. And we're going to let that happen for us there. So that's that play. Palantir, we're getting some more out. Let's look at something else. Roblox. I mean, we're just looking at names that were, you know, it was a name that I wanted to buy, and I keep on mentioning, and I didn't do it yet. DraftKings was around 36, okay, still 37, so it doesn't look like we missed that. I feel like the key level for DraftKings, yeah, so there, I mean, that's why we remember 36. It looks like 35 might have been one of the bottoms. I kind of like this name. I don't know, I like the first mover advantage. Don't like the chart now. So maybe we wait for 39 to break, maybe 40 on the 50 period back upside, but still under the 200. I still do like DKNG, and oh man. It's starting to go here for Google. So let's, if we can, okay, there it is. We'll take out 10% for 10 cents. So a little bit of a move up there. We'll take some 84s. And of course, as soon as we get out, it goes down. Let's wait to see now what happens. Should have got out some more, but nice little trade there for that. Anything else you guys want to look at? NVIDIA, Nikola. Oh, let's check out Lucid. Did you even call that up? We didn't mention it.
Yeah, we.
Okay, so it's still 3%.
Yeah,
okay, forget
not
about
really
it.
Doing too much.
Tesla. I see people talking about Nikola. You mentioned Nikola, and then the other name here that I see. Hey, coffee trader. Oh, what are you taking your coffees, by the way? not black. It's milk and a little bit of sugar?
I take a little bit of cream and I guess almost a
Randy-
full pack of sugar.
Okay, because Randy was asking.
Yeah.
He said he put milk and suger, and I said,
Okay, yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
so I'll ask your
Should be fine.
of that. So, anyways, yeah, and ooh, wow, okay. This NVIDIA is better than I thought. Maybe it looks like it's trying to dip down a little bit here for NVIDIA. We just wicked out at 128 on decent sell size volume there. Actually, the largest, if you come over to the screen, the largest sell candle here of the day just happened at 128. So that's a play, I feel like, down there. We've already supported it. Oh, I missed that one. Okay, it's not. I don't think we missed it. It's probably coming back. So let's pay attention to this one as we wait for NVIDIA to make a move and go over to Adara for small cap recap.
Nice look here for the IWM. Curling down a little bit here with some lower highs and lower lows, but still up more than 1% on the day for the Russell 2000 so far. Couple names to talk about. A lot of these are going to be repeat names, including Innovis Bio, ANVS. This is up about 20% right now. No news, but lots of social media interest. We have a short float of about 12.4% of a total float of just over 8 million shares. We also have here Nikola NKLA. This is another one that ran last week on its higher than expected delivery numbers. Right now, near highs of day here, up over 20%. Tons of social media attention for NKLA as well. Last but not least, here we have Helavax, LVX. I have this one up here because it did have this drop down. Currently down about 90% right now on the day for HLVX. Market cap of just under $700 million. Their NEST study for their norovirus vaccine did not meet primary endpoints and they've canceled future studies. So not a great look here for HLVX, guys.
HLVX.
Yeah, we were looking at that in the pre-market, right? That was the one, right?
Yeah, that was the one. Yeah, unfortunately, I was talking about like that's what happens when you miss and stuff. But okay, so what's just happened right now is we're able to get some out on Google, and we'll talk about them when they win and when they lose. And right now, it's falling back in. So we had talked about possibly getting some more shares up here. I don't know if there was something just happened there. Like, I don't know, it was going pretty good. The market started to go back up to the upside there, and Google just fell right back in. So for me, I'm not feeling that great about it, but this is a spot to buy a little bit more as we come into VWAP. We're going to use 40s here as our outs as we talked about that. So, yuck. Little bit of size here. Let's see if we can get some, well, we will buy some now 52s and 51s as it looks like it wants to break here. So, all right, there it goes. Decent level here at 50s. We just bought a little bit more. Let's see if it wants to hold. So that's basically what we're dealing with right now. Long at 188.60. Okay, here it goes. 188.62, but we're getting close to this out as Google's not like the rest of us. You know, so we'll have to wait to see where it goes right now. 188.50 now. We're long on Google. Let's see if it holds. I got to get the stop in though.
Yeah, it's again this 20,600 mark on the NQ is very, very aggressive. Look at this. Every time we've come into it, and that's 3 times off of the open, we get aggressively bought right back up. So there's definitely a little bit of a bid here happening at that 20,600 and giving us a 20, 30 point push, sometimes even a 40. Look at that 650 coming in off of that initial test there on the NQ. So interesting action. Like the same question I'm asking is like, if we have a strong trend and we do a little bit of a pullback, where does that bid catch? And as of right now, this price action is telling me we are catching that bid in and around that 20,600 every time we push right back into it on the NQ. So let's see what kind of tickers are following in step. And I said, yeah, today maybe is a day where the spider or some of the larger ETFs might be in play, a lot more in play than some of these constituents. But again, still lots of opportunity to go around that 251 holding as of right now on Tesla there, Sean. So I see that you're still in that. Yeah, you are still in that long there. So good stuff on that. Yeah, Intel holding. Is this still holding VWAP? Yeah, it seems like it is still holding that VWAP as of right now. We did violate it by just a slight bit. AMD trading sideways. Broadcom super strong, pushing for its highs there. So maybe that's kind of playing a little bit of a part in the market strength as well. What else do we got? Yeah, Google, Apple with the turn. Apple with the turn. Apple's actually turning now. Yeah. So very, very strong off of that 223.26. Yeah, Intel is pushing as well. So
yeah, we just we'll hit bang and we'll do this because we're out of Intel. So we will, you know, it's hard to celebrate when the money's not in your pocket, but when it is there and we're out, then it's good to go, man. I mean, there it goes. Like I said, we were wrong on Intel. Remember, I was like, okay, well, you know, if it goes down in, it looks like it's going to be weak here. We'll have to watch out for NVIDIA. And so we started to get some out. We took some 2 outs there at VWAP, which is only 15 cents. And then right now, right back into this level, we took it out. We are now done with Intel. My number one P&L name there for the day is Intel. And then we just talked about it. Remember, we said not like us.
Nice.
You know, we're not supposed to talk about that right there as Drake finally makes Kendrick relevant again. But that was nice that he's back, so that's good. And I'm glad he put a lot of money in his pocket there, you know.
Yeah,
so
a little bit of...
that's what Kendrick is, so that's great. But here we go, 188 and change, so nice little move there for Google. So now it's acting like us, like the rest of us now, as we get back in there for Google. Nice upside move, 188.80 or so coming through for Google. So good trade. I mean, I don't know if it's going to be a good trade or not, but it is. So P&L 1 for me today is going to be Intel. Google's trying to hit it. Oh, no, sorry, Intel. My bad. We have Tesla, which is going to be a good trade for us today, but Intel's still there as well. So 250, 251. Look, I just put an offer here at 252. So if we can get back up here, it's actually a little bit below that. It's 251.80. So we'll see if that can come through now, 251.80 or so on that. We'll see if that can play out. Tesla, Palantir. What else? BTC is flushing. Oh, yes, it is. Okay, there it goes. So BTC, nice downside move. Thanks, guys, for bringing that up. Coinbase is right where we wanted it today, 220. This is the buy level that we had mentioned for Coinbase. Oh, man, but... okay, IBIT maybe. You know, 30, wow, $32 here. I thought I bought this, yeah, I'm out of the money now on IBIT for sure. We were buying 60 dips, right, which I think was 33 change, 34 there for IBIT, but yeah, there's a nice flush. Okay, well, we're going to crypto right now, but part of it I think could be ETHE, right? ETHE, Ethereum, they're flashing lower now. Let's see what it is for the day now. Ethereum back underneath, so down just about 1% and trying to break 30 bucks, aka 3,000 it looks like there. This doesn't equate, right? So there it is, 3,000, this name, nice downside move there for Ethereum. But it's Google right now that's really starting to get this guy excited. We're long Google now at 52 with some shares. So we're at the highest spot we've been at all day. That's why I'm a little nervous about this crypto trade, but let's go talk to Adara to find out what's going on over there. Nice flush in crypto.
Quite a lot to talk about in the world of crypto today. We did, of course, have the updates with Bitfarms and the Riot situation. Bitfarms getting a new CEO and Riot having their Better Bitfarm website. But we also have some news in the world of mining at large. Jefferies reporting here through this analysis that mining profitability rose in June compared to May in a post-halving situation, basically saying that there is extra capacity for the miners, but the network hash rate or the amount of computational power needed actually decreased. So good balance there. Though Jefferies did actually decrease the price target in quite a few miners, including Marathon Digital, MARA. So interesting note here from Jefferies with some of these miners. We have Bitcoin pretty much flat on the day, a bit of a doji move. We tried to get back up. At one point, we were above that 57,000 level earlier today. Now we're below 56,000 and continuing to drop here. We definitely continuing to chop and churn from that level that we fell on Friday, around that 54,000, 58,000 level. So a bit of a 4,000 point range here for BTC. Currently down about 2% right now as we try to hold on to that 55.5. Ethereum, which was also up about 3 to the 3,000 level earlier today, now falling into mid 2900s here. Rest of these are going to be a little bit mixed, slightly positive, slightly negative, but not a lot of larger moves today. With the exception of Cardano, up about 2%, guys.
The crypto names? Yeah, I guess. I know you like that one.
My favorite. Yeah. No, my favorite are the big guys right now, but it's funny because I came in and I was, you know, I asked Brendo, you, everything, and, you know, it was like, you know, markets were pretty, I mean, it hasn't been a huge couple weeks. I mean, the market, although trending higher, volatility is not really there. I mean, if
the
you're
VIX is still kind of...
I mean, the VIX is 12 or 13. I have to check what it is today. But I'm like, you know, for me, it's kind of all the same. I mean, you're sitting here seeing like some of these trade opportunities try to fly through. And I just think that as long as you stay in the right names, like I didn't think about Google until just now. It came in, we bounced into VWAP, we liked the name. We talked about it maybe making that bottom. So I just want to say, like, depending on whatever the market is, you're able to find a lot of opportunities back through, right? And so today we come back after you know, the week off, and it's just another one of those days. So it's starting to go here. Great one. We have, you know how many shorts we've taken today? 0. I don't have a short on board, so definitely my bias has hit, and I feel like maybe I need to start to think a little bit differently on that. You guys were right, man. You talked about Bitcoin. It was at 56 and change. This Ethereum was about 29.8 or so. We still continue to fall down. So even some of you traders out there, that if we're not looking at some of these names, I'm sure glad that you guys are, because you're bringing it to our attention and allowing us to sort of look at them for everybody and give an opinion on them. We talked about Coinbase down here at 220. I thought I liked this level. We were looking at it right here. That was a pretty decent sell-off right off the jump. And it looks like 220, 219 and change held. So I think if we're going to play the bottom, you might want to do in and around at 219. But look what happens. Wow, there it goes. We could break even lower right now on some of these names. So I'm going to spend a lot of this time. We just were able to get a bunch out there. Obviously, as Google goes bottom, right? But basically the bottom is VWAP up to the 200 period. So we got to get that out, especially when it comes back basically into the, you know, the highs of the day. Sure, we were up here to open, but we sort of bounced off this 189 before. So let's just start to take some more and more out as we go. And Tesla, really embarrassed on this last 10%. Although we're still fine and we're still happy with everything, but definitely missed opportunities here to be able to get out, as the trend has definitely been downside now. Looking to maybe get longer at 250, but I'm going to hold out on that one to see where this market wants to go. It looks like heading back southbound for now.
Yeah, this I'm kind of just I guess messing and getting involved with this chop here on Amazon. Seems like the 200 level, bit of an iceberg there, printing a lot more size in and around that 200 than is being shown on the book there. So like I said this last week as well, it looks and feels as if there's like there's a strong seller on Amazon in and around this 200 201-ish mark. And it seems like, again, that iceberg seems a little bit interesting there on Amazon as we consolidate really tightly just underneath the VWAP, underneath this 200 mark. And there's some strength happening on Tesla there, Sean. That tape getting very aggressive once again. So some spiciness. I guess Tesla's where the party's at. I know I was getting involved with Tesla multiple times over and over again last week. Friday wasn't too hot, had the kind of the right ideas, but not the best executions on Tesla. So I was like, all right, I'm going to be a little bit more patient for it to come in today. And oh boy, does it come in as fast and as aggressive as ever off of that 245 mark there. Still holding above that 250, so maybe poised for some more on the day today. I think 255s were fresh highs as well, right? So it's moving, it's going.
Yeah, it's a good one there. We took advantage of that. We got out at 250. We said it. Remember, we were like, oh, we don't feel good about how we traded this, and that we were waiting here at 252. So let's go. We'll go chicken dinner winning. Oh, we don't have what's for lunch yet. It's only 10:35. So we'll have a look, see if that is possible now. 252 coming through. Okay, so we did take that out. Oh man, crypto. Let's have a quick look at the BTC chart here. Okay, load, Binance load. All right, so let's go to this and let's just look quickly here. I mean, a daily chart. We talked about that flush that happened. Oh, it went to 50. So on Binance, it went to 53.3. So that would sort of, you know, we had mentioned some of these levels down here at 52. Before we left, we talked about 58, which was right into here. That break was bought up a couple times, right back up into highs again off of these levels. But right now, you've had basically, this is a daily chart, so you've had 3 or so days underneath now that level. So it does not want to hold. So, but when you got back to 58.5 or whatever this morning, 58.4, and didn't hold again, that's probably the flush that's happening right now. Obviously, if we zoom back out, you're still not in trouble, really. I guess trouble is in the eye of the beholder because it depends where you bought it. But at the end of the day, you know, it's just like when we talk about SMCI having a target and all these things with key levels. Like, I just feel like $50, it's like why we went long on Tesla when it broke through 50. We never want to see this kind of a play happen here for BTC, but I feel like it needs to get into 50 before the real flush, and that's 10% from now. So it needs to be bought up there. I don't know if it's going to flush off of those levels. We had Michael Noss talked about, he thought it was one of the best looking longs that he had seen in a minute. And then, you know, you have to, we talked about this, you got to have stops, right? Because if something looks so good and then fails, that's generally when it's the worst, because there's a lot of traders caught at certain levels. So I just wonder if there's traders caught at 60, 55. So we're going to have to wait to see if it does hold. Looks like it's trying to bounce right now, which could give us a good level on IBIT. You know, we just, I mean, right back into those levels there, 3150 could be something there for IBIT. So let's hold out hope that something can come through on IBIT. So 51. I don't know what you guys are talking about for 51s there, but so far so good here for what we have. Tesla 250, good out for us there. It's only 1038. Been a good day so far. I feel like the market's pretty calm, man. Just basically flattish. Yeah. I know you're working that Amazon position.
Yeah.
So.
It's, I mean, it's all right. We had a strong dip down into 99, I guess, 40s there, rips right back up to that 200 mark. So 200 acting as a little bit of a magnet there, and we still continue talking about that 20,600 on the NQ. And yeah, that's still holding very, very aggressively. Look at the bid that keeps on catching. Sure, you violated by 10 points, come all the way down, and then rip right back up into that 20,600. And look at Tesla, man. Tesla is definitely, I think Tesla is the place to be as of right now, with the volatility that it has, with the I guess price action that it's been giving us all day. I'm not really involved right now. I'm gonna maybe look for a mid to late day trade on Tesla, but off the open, I definitely missed out on great opportunities here. But let me know in the chat, what else am I not looking at? Like, I'm only looking at mainly, I guess, Tesla and Amazon and maybe a few other names here on my board. Meta as well. Meta still trading near its lows as of right now. That 200 ICE on Amazon seems to be still there as of right now, but with these aggressive rips right back up, the question becomes, is it an unlimited seller? I don't know. We have traded above it. We've traded significantly below it as well. But that 200, like I said, has been knocking on the door for some fresh highs there. These are all-time highs as well, right? 201.20s as of this morning, day high on Amazon there. 253s incoming potentially on Tesla. Let's see if we can break some of these highs. But before that, we're going to pass it over to Dara for Sector Watch.
Interesting here, we do have the NQ slightly underperforming the S&P 500. They're both basically flat on the day. There are a lot of sectors here making some interesting moves. Of course, we do have this technology services sector pretty much right across the board here. Meta and Google, despite some early gains, selling off pretty aggressively here, especially Meta with quite a few price target increases, including Wells Fargo and Wedbush this morning. On the other side of tech, we've got electronic technology pretty strong here across the board, especially in the chip space. We have NVIDIA, Broadcom, AMD, especially Intel, all pushing higher. Finance pretty strong here across the board as we have some of those bank earnings beginning on Friday morning. We've got health technology, pretty green here as well. Some strength in producer manufacturing, health services, retail trade. Then we get a little bit more mix in energy, minerals, consumer non-durables, consumer service a little bit weak here with a notable sell-off here from Chipotle, CMG on no news. Communications a bit flat as well. So very mixed picture here with this flat market right now, guys.
Okay. Looks like Google, again, we did reload it. Okay, I was gonna say, we did reload it. We'll still stay positive on it. We did reload it there at 188.50. It does make that move. And then there's the break. So again, this is some of the stuff that has really been saving me. And that is like getting out, like on Intel when levels are hit. Getting out, I mean, Tesla is a different example because I still feel like could be up. We only have 5% left. But anyways, getting out when levels break and then not getting married to them. We had talked about that with Apple. We had talked about that with a few different names here today. And it looks like Google is going to be one of those names again where we went long. We thought we had caught it. We were able to get out of pretty much all of it up at the top there, as we mentioned. And then we reloaded it. So it's the fail on the reload. So Travolta's like, huh? But yeah, so we did lose on that one. It may still hold, right now, but again, a little bit weaker. Did NVIDIA, we talked about how much it was up, but it has pulled back, and now it's bouncing again off that 200 period moving average. So I just keep going back to this name. Even though we're up 2%, it was up, almost 3% at one point. So coming back in, I really like that 200 period level there. So this is not a bad area to think about getting some Google. So some NVIDIA. So let's do that. We'll buy some 14s here against 127.50. All right, so let's hold that against 127.50 or so, which is that 200 period moving average. Maybe against 127. So this is starter position. I'm gonna put some more bids, in and around a key level like 75 or so. If it drops back in, we'll buy it at the 200 period again. It's been bought up here before, in and around 940. So again, kind of feel like we're drawing at straws a little bit now because we're out of our intel. We might have just gotten taken out of Google there at a 40 break. Remember, our average price was 47, so we'll lose about 7 or 8 cents on that last piece. And again, this one did not work getting it on the back. It did work once, but then failed that second time. So right now, let's just continue with sort of the strength that we're seeing here in Tesla, up to 254 again. I feel like this is probably a good time to get out as this market comes, coming back in a little bit. I know Tesla's super strong, and this may be the mistake here, but I'm gonna offer it out right now. See if we can get a 40 fill. That's where we're at right there. Face slap that one up. So there's a 250, out 250, 240. That's 250 on the last 5%. Let's get out now on that one, just in case the market does fall in. We're already sort of dealing now with NVIDIA and a possible longer position coming through right now at 75. We just missed that. So let's just try to play this. We'll get out of Tesla. It was a smaller piece. Let's focus on our new trade now with NVIDIA and see if it wants to hold this 127.
Yeah, the market's kind of pulling back in. ES taking a I guess a nosedive a little bit, and NQ as well pushing back into that 20,600. So we are testing it now for what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, the 5th time now, knocking on the door of that 20,600 mark on the NQs. Tesla's still strong on the day. Meta, I'm still waiting on Meta. Meta's trading at 530s as of right now, and I guess. This tape on Tesla keeps on catching my eye. It just has this incremental kind of push, very aggressiveness that kind of comes right back into the ticker there, going both ways, right? But right now it's going straight up to the upside there, potentially coming into that 253 mark once again on Tesla. Yeah, very, very aggressive there. It just wipes both sides of the book there. 20, 30 penny pops on Tesla. They're absolutely wild there. But yeah, no, Meta was my I guess second or one of the top names, top 3 on my list. I was looking for the continuation long, and as you guys can see, it's not really doing too much as of right now, holding below this VWAP and kind of coasting as of right now. We are getting a little bit slower here, like in a sideways kind of action above this 530-ish mark here. So let's go to a higher time frame. This is the same consolidation from prior day, right? So prior day, Meta super strong, pulls back into 520s, 530s, and this is where we're starting to slow down a little bit here once again today. Let's see if the bid kind of starts to catch off of here. I'm more than willing to kind of get involved if we break this downtrend on the day here. Amazon still kind of teetering sideways here. A bit of a I guess here, that's kind of the trend line that I drew in, but not really holding any of that. We did kind of break it, pushing sideways. Strong hold here of 199.30s as of right now, but VWAP seems like there's a little bit of an iceberg at the VWAP level, or just underneath that VWAP level. VWAP's at 211 on Amazon, and we are pretty much trading sideways here with the NQ looking a little bit weaker as we push forward in the day here. But yeah, NVIDIA, I guess people talking about NVIDIA. NVIDIA did pull back a little bit there, 128s with a high of 130.77s as of right now.
NVIDIA.
Not really, I guess, not really continuing that strength that we saw off of the open as of right now, but still one to keep on watch as it is one of the market leaders for sure. Apple taking a little bit of a pullback as well, but strong quadrunk off of the open, so got to keep that one in mind. Softy selling off as well. Spider is back below its opening price here on the SPY, so definitely gotta keep that one in mind when it comes to trading some of these larger cap constituents here. But I'm going to be waiting for Meta to come in. People talking about Salim talking about AMC. Let's take a quick look at AMC. Wow, okay, so AMC with a little bit of strength here on the day, which kind of I asked the question, what is GME up to? GME also with a little bit of strength on the day. So it seems like some of the meme stocks potentially moving around as well. Let's see what Chewy's up to. CHWY. Okay, so yeah, Chewy selling off to the downside here. So we had some strength coming in prior day, but we're recovering some of that price range coming into today, selling off from a high of 25.44 is trading at 24.50s as of right now on Chewy. Let's see, 253. Is this a lower high on Tesla? Am I going to get my VWAP at that 250, Sean? I don't know, but I'm kind of waiting.
Yeah, we actually did pretty good right there. We got out at Tesla. We talked about that at 250, 250. So, and again, this is part of it, right? It's like you could see Minobi getting in and getting out, but like, to me, it's like when you get out up here, you can now reload it at the 50 period. So you can get back in. So this is what I was going to say about the different style of trading that everybody has. It's like, I'm going to get out there. I'm not trying to ignore the trend. It's just I'm going to get out there and wait for an opportunity if I see that it's a little bit extended looking at the market. And I always try to look at one thing versus the other. Like I need to have a leading indicator. If the market's going down and Tesla's made a nice run like that, I'm going to take a little piece off. And this just happened to be the rest of it. So we are now out of that one, and we'll hit the sirens because another one. It is. Now we're into NVIDIA. It's not going to be a huge trade right now, but we're winning on this trade. It's only 25 cents. We want more than this, obviously. We just got an out at 36. We got an out at 25s and then 36s. Or was it 36s or was it 29s? My bad. Hold on. It's 29, sorry. So 25s, 29s on NVIDIA there, back to the upside. So it's not a huge win, but an opportunity nonetheless for that. But the one thing that everyone's most excited about, and I'm sure you guys did this last week, is what's for? Ooh. Lunch. Okay, we got to go to see Money, but we're going to do this quickly first here. Chicken tetrazzini with roasted mini potatoes. So normally that's like a sort of like a casserole type of thing. Okay. So you get like a pasta bake. So we'll see if that is any good today. You probably, did my salads come in last week? They're not supposed to.
No, I don't think so.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I was going to say, hopefully you were able to take it if it did come in. I hate to see those things go to waste, but I'm hoping that there's tuna on top of the salad. You could have one protein on top of.
Okay. Ramin saying tuna every day last week. That's not too bad.
There's some stuff I have to spill some beans to Neil when he gets back, so we're gonna wait for that. So I'll just tell you. Okay. So I had mentioned to the caterer about like 2 or 3 months ago, maybe, about how much I enjoyed the tuna on there.
Okay. Really?
And then Sharif and everybody around here is like, wow, there's been a lot of tuna on recently, and I'm just like, yeah, I've no idea why, type of thing.
Yeah.
But that thing, I'm not trying to speak for everybody. I was just getting the comments because they're always messaging me and asking for feedback from the floor and from. I will, and I will also tell them the tofu is great. Okay. For Ramin, and so that's And if people like that one day we got tacos and Neil was so excited about it, then for some reason he took the Tuesday off, which it was coming Taco Tuesday.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so that's the thing about the tuna. So I was like, wow, I don't know. They're always putting through a lot of tuna. But right now, I don't know if tuna costs a lot. I don't know. I mean, some protein steak right now, and those prices going nuts. Let's go over to the desk for Money Talks.
DXY has been pushing back slightly positive and slightly negative on the day over the last few minutes here, trying to make its first green candle after 7 days of selling off. Trying to hold up here around this 104.80s area, just shy of 105s. This could be an interesting look here for the DXY. Not really any economic data on watch today until we get that consumer credit number at 3 p.m. This one is certainly one to watch out for. This number has been interesting in the past. So consumer credit for June coming in here, forecast of 9 billion, previous of 6.4 billion. So we're gonna have to keep an eye on the consumer credit change for the U.S. at 3. Tomorrow, though, lots of excitement with regards to Fed Chair Powell's semi-annual Senate testimony. He's also testifying on Wednesday, July 10th as well. So 10 a.m., both of those are scheduled to start. Keep an eye on comments from Fed Chair Powell over the next 2 days. Also tomorrow, we have some comments from Feds Barr and Feds Bowman throughout the day. So should be pretty interesting. Remember, 3 p.m. consumer credit change, guys.
Okay.
Okay, consumer.
Gotta watch out for that number.
We just got a piece out there of NVIDIA. It's great to be back. Thank you for the nice words there, Mr. Alex Diaz and everybody else that is watching the show. I hope you're enjoying this show as much as you did last week, as well as we got a great midday show coming up. I asked Sharif, you guys know what you guys are covering?
What's on the
Elliott
Waves. Okay, shout out to my boy Elliott.
It's
like that.
there's a heat wave right now in Toronto.
Is he a surfer?
All right, so yeah, I was just gonna check out. It's surf. That is, I mean, Ramin's making a joke there about surfing, but that is what it is. It's the waves,
yeah, it's
right?
Like, there's different kind of waves. Elliott wave theory being, I guess, again,
it's
I
gonna
remember
feel like
reading about
38
it.
Celsius today, which is like 100 and 100.
Okay, 100.
I know it's 100.
100.
Right there. So I don't know if a lot of people there. Yeah, anyways, Neil is just another day off, so he'll be back tomorrow.
Yeah.
I just asked him how he's feeling. We've asked him last week. He's feeling good, of course, as him and I continue to get older and older and get more and more beat up. So he's waiting now to get the results, and we'll find out if he's going to need surgery on that torn Achilles.
Yeah.
Or I guess it's more about what the severity of the tear is. So, I'll leave
We were
all
talking
that
about
for
some
him.
of that last week, but yeah.
I just saw someone write in there GTA.
GTA.
I like Grand Theft Auto. But TTWO, this is the one, my kid keeps asking me, he's 12, turning 13. He's turning 13 in January, so he'll be, I don't know when this game's coming out. I thought it was 2026 or so for GTA. But anyways, nice little move down for Take-Two. With the recent acquisition and everything of ATVI, I did think that some video games were going to be pretty hot coming through. I think Take-Two, we'll have to look at their financials and let's maybe let them have another earnings report come out. But this is a name that I'm interested in buying, I think. Buying a little bit ahead of that GTA. And I think the research needs to be done. Like in past big, like when Call of Duty was coming out.
Right.
What did Activision at that time when it was public, how did that react a year and ahead? Because they know these, you're a gamer, they know these games are coming out.
Oh yeah.
Like they're being
long
worked
before.
Yeah, so.
They're being worked on. There's people releasing videos and different things on the game. So gamers usually pay very close attention as to when the next release is,
AMC, I just don't want to ignore stuff. It's 10:54. We will have the Midday Madness coming through. Elliott wave theory coming out at you if you want to understand a little bit of that, which maybe I should watch out for some of that. Use some of those before levels and again, the thing that I want to look at more is Fibonacci's and things like that for retracement levels, but we'll talk different strategy altogether. Yeah, but there goes AMC up 10%. Darren and Sharif are getting ready for the midday, so we can just quickly check out here on Benzinga. We use this a lot here. I don't see anything on AMC, so you go over to details, you can just check it out, AMC. Right now, hit enter, and then we could see most of the time you'll get a little bit of a news story here today. So what's going on with AMC Entertainment on Monday? Shares are trading higher, continued strong attendance trends at its movie theaters. Oh, okay, so you probably didn't see it, but it wouldn't be a bad date movie or something like that. I don't know. But I thought that Inside Out 2 was really great.
Okay.
And it's the first $1 billion movie since Barbie.
Really?
Yeah, so come on, Obi, let's go party. Yeah, I've seen it. It's
really
great.
good.
We really like that.
I liked the first one. The first one was great.
Yeah, my kids love that they're hockey players. Riley is the character in there. That's a hockey as well. So, anyways, and my daughter right now is at hockey camp. So it's crazy. It's like almost exactly the way it was. So, anyways, great movie there. AMC starting to blast off.
So is Tesla. Oh boy, look
Tesla
at that.
still going?
Tesla
I
is
knew we'd get into that one. It
blasting
might
off,
be
man.
wrong. Let's see what is Tesla doing. 253 and change. Yeah, so there goes Tesla upside. NVIDIA dropping down. We might have to get out of this one. Down to 127. I got to put my stop in. It's not even in yet.
Yeah, look at that Tesla pushing 254s as of right now. So pushing back towards high a day. I was looking for that 250 VWAP to potentially come in, but it does not come in. We hold and hover above that 250 only to push right back up towards day highs there at that 254. So very, very aggressive bid. Like I said, got to keep an eye on that one. That is, it seems like that Tesla is the gift that keeps on giving in terms of both volatility and moves to the upside there. Yeah, so I'm going to continue watching it. Didn't really come into the VWAP that I was looking for, so I did miss it on top of that 250, but it pretty much hovered on top of 250. So that's something I got to do better with, is kind of getting involved, maybe not exactly at prices, but at the price action, kind of showing me that, all right, maybe it doesn't want to get all the way towards VWAP, and maybe I can look for a potential long above some of these pre-market levels here at that 250 once again as it comes in. So very, very aggressive. We're still chopping around this 20,600 on the NQ here. And yeah, ES still taking a little bit of a pullback. No sign of a bid as of right now. Some of these prices here that we accelerated off of is 5,620. It's a bit of a consolidation just in and around some of those levels here in the pre-market session before we got that strong push all the way up to 5,600, almost 40 there on the ES. NQ coming right back in. Like I said, still chopping around, so a little bit of an interesting level here at that 20,600, just above. We kind of, again, that 20,000 was very interesting over the past few weeks. We finally kind of consolidated, chopped around, bit of a magnet, and then ripped all the way to 20,600 as of right now. So definitely some interesting action with a lot of these constituents pushing for their all-time highs. You know, that Meta's trying to do that, Apple's been doing that, Amazon's been doing that, Nvidia, of course, has been doing that as well. Google as well, AVGO. So markets are pushing fresh highs here, Sean. So when is a good time to buy? The dips are not even dipping that much, so I have no idea on that one, but. I don't know. Maybe you have something like. When do you usually like to buy on?
For longer term?
Yeah, for like longer term stuff.
I don't ever like buying at highs, but there's that study that's been done. Like if you just keep buying the market every time it hits highs, you're fine.
Yeah.
You know, and I might actually outperform. I want to double check that stat because it doesn't seem right. But instead of averaging in, like people dollar cost average every month, that could be something as well. And I just think that if you're doing that, that's probably your best. So then you're not timing the market. But to answer your question, I don't think it's a good idea to start to put money in now ahead of earnings season. Right. I would almost rather wait to make sure that the stock that you're thinking about, if we're talking about individual stocks, if you're talking about the market, I can address that as well. Maybe we'll do that on the afternoon because it's almost closed. But like if you're investing in banks, why not just wait? You know, you got JP Morgan. If there's some names that you like that you have an inkling on that may or may not be bouncing back, like a Citigroup is pretty undervalued right now. But look what we're doing right now. I'm not going to say diamond hands, although I hit that one. We average into NVIDIA. So now NVIDIA, we'll take another piece out as it's just ripped back up. It went to that 127. We're long at 127.50s. So this is not like we're basically getting out some for flat now and then trying to hold the rest. We're out of 20%. That did get scary down there. We did not get enough. It didn't go low enough. It didn't touch 127. It just went to 127.12. We're able to get something at 20s. So we'll get a little bit more on NVIDIA in case this market does rally back. Nice bounce back there for NVDA. So yeah, that's about it for now. Obi, thank you again for another great day. And we'll talk more about maybe some longer term plays and things like that at 2 p.m. But for now, it's the midday show. Thanks for a great one, Obi. And everybody enjoy your lunch and we'll see you soon. It's Sharif and Adara.
Take it easy.
Yes, what is up, beautiful people? Well,